Welcome to the Trading Sliders Podcast. Here we go, episode number 48 of the Trading Sliders Podcast. How's everybody doing out there? I'm Bobby Puckett. Here in studio with me is Kurt the Flash Bennett. What's going on, Flash?
Not much, Bobby. What about you?
Busy weekend. Yeah. This is one of those weekends where Flash and I, since January, neither one of us have gone to the racetrack.
Yeah.
Flash had some family obligations. He spent about 700 miles on the road back and forth.
Again,
yeah. And I was blessed to help out my beautiful wife and work the Kentucky State Fair and park cars for 12 and a half hours in the beating sun yesterday. So,
yeah.
And this morning as well. So that was, but we did keep up with some racing. We did watch some, actually we just got done watching one event right now before we got started. So, but this week's guest, you guys are going to enjoy this one. Viewer discretion is advised just a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it's Mr. Excitement himself, Doodle Farris. We had Doodle on, met up with Doodle last week. It's actually kind of one of these race watch-along deals.
Yeah. We had races on while we was interviewing him. He got to come to the Trading Slider studio.
Yeah, he got to come to the headquarters. He said, "Damn, you got 3 TVs in here." I said, "Yeah, man, we're doing big things." So we get into a lot of things with Doodle. A lot of people that's listening to this know it's about a year anniversary before Doodle had one of the nastiest crashes you can have at a racetrack.
Oh yeah.
And he's doing well, and he was back to his old self. If you don't know him, you'll understand exactly what we mean. If you do know him, you'll really understand what we mean.
And there's a lot of cool stuff in this one too, where a lot of people probably don't know some things about Doodle, what he did before he started running figure 8. So it's kind of cool. They need to check it out.
So everybody asked for an old racetrack segment.
Yep.
Yeah, here it is.
We got it.
We got you an old racetrack segment. It's Mr. Excitement. Dang it, Doodle Farris. So we're getting into this week's sponsors. Brought to you each and every week. The Trading Sliders Podcast being brought to you by Diesel Boys LLC. If you need any type of diesel truck work, mechanic work, diesel deletes, anything for your diesel truck, reach out to Brandon Hooker and Diesel Boys. Our deep dives being brought to you each and every week by Kentucky Clutch and Performance. If you need any type of clutch for any type of car, tractor, pickup truck, hauling truck, pulling truck, it makes no difference whatsoever. If you got a Ford Focus and you got one of those goofy auto shift clutches, yes, we got that in stock too. So reach out to Kentucky Clutch and Performance and they'll get you taken care of. Crash of the Week being brought to you each and every week by D.O. Handyman Remodeling. Ladies and gentlemen, we say this all the time and we truly mean it. I know the weather was a little bit nicer, but us guys don't like doing stuff around the house at all. At all. As we look at the headquarters right now, my wife's still off at work. I was able to sneak off to do some podcast stuff. My laundry that she asked me to put up, Flash, it's still sitting in front of us. Yeah. So David will not come over and help you put your laundry up, but he will help you fix the deck, fix the window, fix trim, any type of handyman work you need at all. Reach out to David at D.O. Handyman Remodeling, 812-989-5002. Our Slider of the Week. This week's Slider of the Week and Crash of the Week kind of go together.
Yeah.
But our Slider of the Week being brought to you by Walt at Speed Decals. If you need any type of vinyl work done whatsoever, reach out to Walt at Speed Decals. Our Racetrack Spotlight being brought to you from our latest sponsor, JT's Trackside Catering. This week's Racetrack Spotlight, it's the holiday weekend. There's racing everywhere. But this is an event that I went to a couple years ago, and it's still going strong now. So this week's Racetrack Spotlight will be a really neat place if you're looking for a road trip and you know everybody's got Monday off.
Oh yeah.
So you can take a little drive. It's a beautiful drive. So when we get into this week's Racetrack Spotlight, if you need any type of catering done for your race team, especially for your race team, because Jeremy and his wife love going to the races. They love preparing meals. These guys have prepared meals for Bobby Pierce, for Garrett Albertson. A bunch of drivers. So.
Yeah, JT come up with a pretty good gig there.
Yeah, he took something that he loved.
Yeah,
and
he gets to go watch the races and feed people and eat probably.
Yeah, so
it works out good.
Yeah, he works out really good. But reach out to Jeremy Thomas and JT's Trackside Catering. I think we got all the sponsors. If anybody that wants to help sponsor the show, reach out to us and we'll get you on here too. We got pretty affordable sponsorship, but it helps us get up and down the road. And if you listen every week, you know there's a lot of miles covered each and every week.
Yep.
So, news of the week. Kokomo Smackdown did not disappoint.
Oh, no.
Three nights of racing. And, Flash, this weekend I had something to do, so I couldn't go. So, Friday, I get a message. It's from our buddy Jack Slash. You coming to Kokomo? I said, no. Yeah. Oh, man, I was hoping we get to hang out. I said, man, I'm not gonna be up there. I got some stuff to do. All right. Pat Sullivan messaged me Friday. You guys gonna make it up to Bloomington? No, I got something to do. So either people like hanging out with us, which is absurd.
Yeah.
Or we're doing something good for the racing community.
Yeah.
Which is even more absurd to think.
Yeah.
Just like the guy said last week at Tazewell, or 2 weeks ago at Tazewell. You know, we are professional.
Yeah.
Yeah, joke's on you, but we appreciate the kind words.
Yeah.
But yes, the Kokomo Smackdown did not disappoint. We'll get into that. Dirt late model debate still going strong. Who's the best? RTJ double down. Bobby Pierce double down. So we're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
Trading sliders, past guests. This is, okay, look. We say we're looking for a sponsor, okay?
Right.
We need to sponsor this segment because this is a segment that we didn't really know we were going to have, but our past guests keep performing each and every week.
Yeah.
So if you're out there and you want to sponsor the past guest update, reach out to us because we got a lot to talk about this week. Our Trading Sliders previous guest just absolutely had a weekend this weekend. Yeah. And busy schedule coming up for the holiday weekend. We'll get into that when we get into our upcoming events. And last but certainly not least, we're going to start off with this. Dirt racing loses its biggest supporter. Dirt racing would not be what it is today without...
Not the level it is.
Yeah,
anyway.
Yeah, not the level that it is without Forrest Lucas and Lucas Oil's support. You know, he passed away, and I've known for a while that Forrest Lucas was, you know, not in the best of health because a couple of years ago they started remodeling their dirt stuff when the kids took over, and they dropped some things off, but they're still very prominent in a lot of things.
Yeah.
But Forrest Lucas sponsored Modified Series, Sprint Car Series, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series is Forrest Lucas Series. I mean, the racetrack, Lucas Oil Speedway, the Diamond No Dirt Track, one of the nicest racetracks in the country, is all of his creation. You know, a lot of people don't know this, but Forrest Lucas was born and raised right there in Corton, Indiana.
Yeah.
So he's a local guy.
We used to drive by his original Lucas Oil shop on the way to Patoka when we go fishing out there every time. It's just a little bitty old place he started out down there.
Yeah, so
it's pretty cool.
So thoughts and prayers to the whole Lucas family, and we want to say from the Trading Sliders podcast, thank you, Forrest Lucas, for what you've done for dirt racing, because you jumped on the dirt racing bandwagon back when it wasn't the cool thing to do.
Yeah.
I mean, you started pumping money into this sport, and I know everybody always has something to bitch about.
Yeah.
But one thing that we don't get in any part of motorsports anymore is a pat on the back. Thank you.
Yeah.
So thank you from the Trading Sliders podcast to Forrest Lucas. Your memory will always be cherished here. Sorry, now we did the somber stuff, okay?
Yeah.
Now let's move on. Dirt late model double downs. Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series this week. RTJ picked up the win at Port Royal on Friday and Saturday. $12,000 to win Friday night. $50,000 to win Saturday night for the Rumble on the River. Flash, is it just me? Or does it seem like we got a 20, 30, 40, 50K to win late model race every week?
It's every week almost, yeah.
And here's one thing about that. You know, I'm excited for the drivers because we have two national tours. We have 42 cars at Port Royal. We had 41 cars at Arrowhead. So, I mean, obviously they're not hurting.
No.
Because we're not going to have 80 if we have one event.
Right.
And everybody's going to branch off and do something else. So they're not hurting. But, I mean, it just seems like every weekend.
Yeah.
All right, here's another $50,000 check.
Yeah.
All right, here's another $50,000
Where are they getting his money at?
That's a... I mean, we're doing this all wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ricky Thornton Jr. took the win. Him and former crew chief Chris Madden kind of went back and forth a little bit. Madden threw a slider on Thornton, and Thornton's not a guy to bitch about a slider because hell, he throws them about every other lap.
Yeah.
But Madden made a comment. I can't believe he hit me, and Thornton made a comment. I can't believe he brake checked me. Yeah, but what I did like about Thornton was you could tell he's maturing.
Yeah.
He goes, Yeah, he's just very glad that Devin Moran got by us, too, because it took me a few laps to get back by Moran, and I had to calm down. If not, neither one of us would have finished. So we got bad blood, and nobody really knows why.
Yeah.
They work together, so I'm just going to go out on a limb and say one of them don't like the other.
Yeah.
I don't know who did what or how or why, but, little team drama, so to speak, is spilling over.
Another little rivalry we got going on.
Yeah, that's
to watch out for.
Yeah, it's not always a bad thing.
No.
And Bobby Pierce did Bobby Pierce things in the World of Outlaw at Arrowhead. He doubled down as well at the Oklahoma. First off, Arrowhead Raceway, or Arrowhead Speedway, Raceway, Speedway, whatever you want to call it, is a beautiful, beautiful facility.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple big modified races there. High limit sprint cars went there. Now the World of Outlaws went there. That place is on the list.
Yeah.
It's on the list of places I want to go see.
That was Bobby's first time being there too.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
But he said it reminded him of growing up racing at Tri-City in Illinois.
Yeah, that you still haven't been to yet.
Yeah. I still haven't been to the small Tri-City.
Yeah.
I haven't been to the small Tri-City. I've been to the...
That is a good racetrack.
Been to the monster Tri-City back when it seemed like 5/8 of a mile. But I haven't been there since like...
It probably was, because it's still pretty big.
Yeah, I mean, it was huge.
Yeah.
It was... But yeah, he said it raced just like Tri-City. He said so.
Yeah.
He had some notes, but...
Yeah.
Bobby Pierce, just another thing. $10,000 to win on Friday, $20,000 to win on Saturday.
Yeah.
So money being thrown around left and right. But Bobby Pierce, Ricky Thornton Jr., I guess it's going to go down to the Dirt Track World Championship again till we find out who the number one dirt late model driver in the country is.
Yeah.
But I think that's Pierce's 29th or 30th feature win of the year.
Yeah,
and I think Thornton's at like 22, 23.
Yeah.
In the late models. I think.
Right.
I think Thornton is like one behind him total, but Thornton had a few stock cars and modified wins along the way.
Yeah, just 100,000 wins.
Just one. That I'm sure he got paid for it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he got paid for it. So, man, it took him a little bit, but he got it.
He got it.
Yeah. So, so the debate on who's the best dirt late model driver in the country is going to keep going. And I said this a few weeks back. There can only be one number one.
Yeah.
If we're ever going to have two number ones, this might be the case.
Yeah.
This might be the case.
This could be it.
Yeah, I may contradict myself a little bit on that one.
Yeah, because they're both just week in, week out.
Yeah,
well, Thornton had a little dry spell there for a little bit, but he's back. I think he's back on it now.
Yeah. Well, it's like Bobby Pierce had a dry spell. He flipped, and then he won 3 in a row.
Right.
So
it just happens that way, it seems like.
Yeah, when those dudes, they're just so damn good.
Oh, yeah.
They're just good. And one thing I like about both of them is they're both kind of young, but they're not so young that they don't understand their car. I mean, they both work on their car. They both, in Bobby's case, he has his dad, legendary car builder, legendary racer, so he has somebody to lean on and bounce ideals off of.
Yeah.
In RTJ's case, he just flat out understands the race car.
Yeah.
He's just going out working. He don't care. I mean, we'll just work on the damn car. We'll change it.
Yep.
He's one of those guys that just absolutely, understands. And that comes from the IMCA days. That comes from racing stock cars and modifieds all around the country out the back of your pickup truck and an open trailer.
Right. I was going to ask you about this too. I mean, all these big races, though, they usually have one or two prelim nights. And it seems like those guys, if they're going to be off a night, it's going to be that prelim night because they're they're trying something just to see what they can get. You know what I mean?
You think they maybe use that as a test session?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking those little $6,000 races are test sessions for those guys.
Like, well, that sucked. We're not going to put that bar there again.
Yeah.
Just go back to where it was, where I won 30 this year.
Yeah, we'll put it back like that.
But yeah, so the late model debate, it's still going on, and it's going to go on to the end of time.
Oh yeah.
So Traded Sliders, past guest, had a monster weekend.
Yeah.
I think I got them all. I missed Ricky Lewis a few weeks ago when we did like 10 of these.
Yeah.
But I think I got them all. Going to start off Friday night at Bloomington Speedway. Derek Groomer won the Super Stock Special.
Yeah.
So he was in this.
That was pretty cool.
He was in the Cessna. Did you see where he gave the trophy away to?
Oh,
to
did
the
he?
family. Yeah, he's like, here, you take the trophy. So that was pretty cool. But Derek Groomer picked up the Super Stock win at Bloomington.
Man, Derek's one of them guys that I don't know why I just didn't like him when he was first racing. But now he's starting to grow on me.
Yeah. when I interviewed Groomer, because
Yeah, I didn't get to go that night.
that's when Flash had the flu that night.
Yeah.
He couldn't get out of bed. So when I went up there, we kind of talked about that. We was like, how come you got a persona and people don't like you? And he's like, I don't know. I mean, he's one of the cleanest drivers there is.
Yeah.
But I think it comes from the fact that I think a lot of people just always kind of assume that he was some spoiled rich kid.
Yeah.
That just had everything handed to him.
Right.
And he kind of admitted when he started, he kind of did. I mean,
Yeah.
but I mean, he works his ass off. When I was there, he's putting a clip on a street stock car for a buddy. I mean, it's pouring. Like, we set through a hailstorm.
Yeah.
I mean, rain is rolling in the shop, and he's just laying in the ground working in the mud. So, I'm a big Derek Groomer fan.
Oh, yeah.
I said it. I didn't really know him. I just kind of knew him at the racetrack. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
But once we sat down and conversated, and he actually reaches out. Like, I probably talk to Groomer about once a month, and he reaches out, and he's one of those guys that he's got his hand on the sport. Like, I think Groomer, when he decides he wants to be done, like, he would be great for Bloomington Speedway, Paragon Speedway, something like that.
Right.
He's a guy that he knows what's going on. Street stock, super stock, modified, late model.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, hats off to Derek Groomer getting a big super stock win. And then Ben Harmon went down to Lake Cumberland Speedway.
Yeah.
Picked up his third win in a row for the Brooks, Kentucky racer. If you want to listen to another interview that's really intriguing about growing up in your father's footsteps,
Yeah.
Your father's spotlight, check out the interview that we did with Ben Harmon.
Yeah.
That's been a long
That's
time.
Ben's like 3 in a row for him, ain't it?
Yes, three wins in a row.
That's good.
It started at Highland in Illinois, which is never easy to do.
Yeah.
Went to Richmond Raceway. It's never easy to win there because you got to go slow.
Yeah.
And picked up the win down at the Hargrove last night.
And then last night he had to beat Barber.
Yeah, he had to beat Barber and Profit. Yeah. So he had a good night last night. I heard there was. I'll just let it go.
Yeah.
All right, race day report. Okay. One of our correspondents, I'm gonna leave his name out just in case, but I messaged him and say, hey, how'd it go last night? He said, well, so-and-so screwed around on the start and screwed us up. We both had to go back a row. I'll leave it to you to figure out who was so-and-so that screwed around on the start and who was the one that had to go back with them. But it was one of our race day correspondents. Yeah. So, it was supposedly a lot of stuff went on at Lake Cumberland Speedway last night.
Oh, yeah. I seen they had a couple cars slipped and everything down there. So
they had a Crown Vic knock the wall down.
oh, yeah. Well, I mean, the wall is bolted together.
Yeah, the wall was on its verge of going down anyways.
Yeah.
But a 3,400-pound car went and pushed it on over.
That ain't no good.
So, yeah, I talked to some people leaving. They said they were leaving at 1:30 this morning.
Yeah.
There was fire trucks and EMTs and cops coming in as they were going out. He said, I don't know what went on over there. And I told him, I said, yeah, well, they had a big wreck in the Crown Vic. There was a car on top of each other, a car through the wall.
Yeah.
So they had all kinds of issues going on. But had a great car count, 134 cars, I think.
Wow, that's good.
So, yeah, they parked them outside the racetrack, up on the hill, up towards Brandon's house. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So, and Jason Jameson took the Southern All-Star Super Late Model win.
Yeah.
Jimmy Owens got in the wall, about 5 to go, cut down his right rear, pounding the cushion, doing a young-o show.
Yeah, somebody said Devin Gilpin came from like 16th to second, too.
Yeah, so Gilpin.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, Gilpin was going forwards, and I think he was in the Longhorn again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Gilpin was going forward. Speaking of pretty good, did you see where our boy Jordan Weaver got back in the late model,
picked up
and won the first night? Jordan Weaver back in the Bumgardner late model. What's old is new again. What's new is old sometimes.
Yeah.
So I'm glad Weaver got back in the late model, and
that's good.
So he's been on a row. That's his second win in a row. He won in the mod last week as well.
Yep.
So Jordan Weaver picked up the win. Josh Harris picked up the win at Charleston, Illinois.
Oh yeah.
And another place that's hard to win out on a weekly show. And Josh Harris picked up a win, and Cole Followay doubled down this weekend. Almost hit the trifecta, Flash.
Oh, yeah.
Cole Followay won Friday night at, help me out, Kankakee.
Kankakee, yeah.
Yeah, Kankakee. Saturday, he was quick time, won the heat, won the feature at Falls.
Wow.
Had the makeup feature, ran second, got beat by half car length at the line.
Man.
They almost got 3 in a 24-hour period.
Yeah.
But
that would have been cool.
Yeah, Cole Followay doing what Cole Followay does.
Yeah, he's a wheelman.
Yeah. And Clinton Bulls, I know it's a heat race win.
Yeah.
I know it's just a heat race win, but we have to talk about it. Been out of a non-wing sprint car for 5 years.
Yeah.
Been out of a race car, basically. He runs to Chili Bow every year, and that's it.
Yeah.
He was a crew chief. The crew chief and duties didn't work out. Well, I'm not going to say they didn't work out. He was relieved of his duties.
Yeah.
Picked up a few gigs along the way. Got into the 410 wing sprint car. Just about picked him up a win the other night.
Yeah.
And the madman Robert Ballou goes, you know what? I'm going to put Clinton Bowles in my race car, and we're going to go and try to win this 30,000 at Smackdown.
Yeah.
Didn't win, but put on a clinic running the top side. I think they forgot to tell Clinton, like, hey, early in the night, you got to pull it down because, like, our man Gunnar Setzer knocked the wall down.
Yeah.
Like, he went through the catch fence, basically. But Clinton got a heat race win and made all 3 features of the Smackdown with 54 cars. So, hat shake to Clinton Bowles.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just going to get a ride. I see where he's running Millstream tonight as well. So,
Oh, yeah?
So maybe he might just get a ride.
Well, that's cool.
And our last, but certainly not least, our winner for the week, Thursday night, our main man, Briggs Danner, picked up the win, night number 1 of the Kokomo Smackdown, on the top side, around Kyle Cummings and CJ Leary. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
He put it on the cushion and went around Kyle Cummings, who is probably the hottest, best, hold on, not hottest as in I think he's sexy.
Yeah.
But the hottest sprint car driver as far as wins right now.
Yeah.
And most certainly is the best non-wing sprint car racer in the country, according to USAC's major point leading. Yes.
Yeah.
But yes, he went around Kyle Cummins on the top side and got the win Thursday night. Friday night, we'll just carry this over into the Smackdown coverage. Friday night, Kevin Thomas Jr. picked up the win over Kyle Cummins.
Yeah.
Justin Grant ran third. Justin Grant set quick time Thursday night with a broken foot.
Yeah.
Just when I seen Grant's interview and he was like, "Yeah, I didn't know if I was going to be able to race here all weekend. I'm in a lot of pain, so I made sure my hot laps on qualifying was worth it on Thursday.
Yeah, right.
I was going to make sure they knew I was here."
Yeah.
When he says that, he means he actually drove up on the wall, come down, and got quick time.
Yeah.
But I could tell that Grant was having to change his corner entry just a little bit. He said it in an interview that he was real uncomfortable. His foot was in a lot of pain. Because he couldn't take no pain medicine for 3 days.
Right.
Because he don't take any pain medicine on the day that he races. And he's been racing always since last week, just about every night.
Yeah.
But he said he couldn't get the feel of the sprint car down like he could the Silver Crown car.
Right.
Because there's not as much room. But he was able to work through it and work through it. Did he? Justin Grant took the win of his 5th Smackdown win. $30,000 to win.
Yeah.
Man with a broken foot standing there in victory lane, crying. Said it was important to him to race the Smackdown because he loves Kokomo Speedway.
Right.
I don't think I've ever heard anybody say, "Yeah, Kokomo sucks."
Yeah,
So,
no.
Yeah, everybody loves Kokomo.
Yep.
But Justin Grant took the win to Smackdown. But not only that, he tied Dave Darling as the all-time winner in USAC sprint car history. What was really cool, guess who presented him his trophy in victory lane?
Dave Darling.
Dave Darling, Double D. So Double D stood there and kind of pretty much handed the reins over, just went and said,
Yeah.
"You're the king of USAC now. I'm just Dave from
Yeah.
yeah.
Dave from Kokomo.
Yeah, I'm just Dave from Kokomo, man." So, but yeah, so that's what went on in SmackDown. Our slaughter of the week and our crash of the week. Slaughter of the week going to. Excuse me, man, I'm about to sneeze my head off right there. Did I say I parked cars this week?
Yeah.
Yeah, the dust is killing me.
Yeah.
I look like I'm drunk right now because of my eyes. But slaughter of the week, brought to you by Walnut Speed Decals, goes to the final lap. I know you've seen it floating around, but Kurt will try to post it on the group, on the Facebook group. Flow Racing's got it, USAC's got it. But the final lap, $30,000 to win. Brian Herbert on the call. Justin Grant throws a haymaker that he may, there's a possibility he may have not was going to clear Danner.
Yeah.
But the slaughter of the week and the crash of the week happened in the same turn.
Yeah.
Danner's blasting the cushion. Live by the cushion, die by the cushion. The cushion giveth, the cushion taketh.
Yeah.
So the cushion gaveth 10,000s on Thursday.
Yeah.
And the cushion taketh 30,000 on Saturday.
Yeah.
But Danner got in the wall. So D.O. Handyman crash of the week. Briggs Danner gets in the wall in the process of Justin Grant throwing the slider. So The slider of the week presented by Speed Decals is entering turn 1 on the white flag lap. The crash of the week presented by D.O. Handyman Remodeling is the center of turn 1 when Briggs Danner is looking at the sky. But Kokomo Smackdown was another major success. Next year, I think Flash and I may try to go up there and do a 3-day coverage, hang out. Especially if it's during the fair, I'm gonna have to do something to get out of parking cars.
Yeah,
we gotta get booked for this gig somehow.
Yeah.
So that's what went on this weekend. I know there's a lot more stuff that went on, but we're just pretty much talking about what we seen because we had about 10 million things going on. So we're gonna get off here and listen to this week's deep dive, the old racetrack segment, Doodle Farris, and then when we come back. We'll come back with upcoming events, and there's like 10,000 of them because it's the busiest race weekend of the year.
Yeah.
And then we'll get into our racetrack spotlight brought to you by JT's Trackside Catering. It's time for the Trading Sliders Deep Dives presented by Kentucky Clutch and Performance. Let's take a trip down memory lane with the old racetrack segment.
Sing along to We Will Rock You as they pulled out the pits. Did you pull for Blackwell or Harmon? Did you go just to see some carnage? Yeah, I still smile every time that I look back on it at the old racetrack.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. On this week's Trading Sliders Deep Dives, we have Mr. Excitement himself, Doodle Farris. Episode number 48. The 48 comes on, Flash.
That seems fitting, doesn't it?
Yeah, almost kind of like we do this shit on purpose or something. What's going on, Doodle? Thanks for coming on.
Just enjoying the weather. It's a beautiful day today, and I want to thank both of you for what y'all do, and for having me on this go around on the 48th. It's pretty neat. I know that number probably popped up like, hey, let's go Doodle, because I know we've been trying to do this for the last 3 months or so.
At least,
yeah. Everybody's been busy. Try to slow me down right now is hard. So we're here though.
Yeah.
I said episode 48. We're almost to the 1-year anniversary of when Doodle made headline news. Not in a positive way. He had a speaking of nasty crash, we got one upside down at Kokomo.
Yeah.
But we had Doodle had a nasty crash at the Speedrome. First off, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Are we back to normal? Or it's Doodle, so we're not always going to be normal, but
I'm probably, like I just told Flash earlier, I'm probably better than I have been in the last 10 years, Health-wise, strength-wise, it beat me up pretty good there back in September in that event, but we recovered and had a lot of support, and like I said, I don't have any kind of issues other than normal, issues.
Just normal Doodle issues.
Just the 50-year-old issues, if your back hurting or your leg hurting or something like that, And honestly, I think, I appreciate life more and I work harder and do things different than I did a year ago. So, I don't know. Y'all know as well as I do. Everything happens for a reason. Maybe that was a reason to, hey, get your act together and live a normal life besides being in the fast lane of a race car all the time and doing things that you shouldn't be doing anyways at 50 years old. You
said live a normal life. Yeah. You're talking to two dudes that go to the racetrack 100 nights a year. What the hell's a normal life?
Well, you're not dragging you're not dragging a race car around across the dang country. Right. Spending every dollar you got, avoiding your family because you want to go work on the race car. You leave the shop 12, 1 o'clock at home. You go, 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning. You go home. Your wife, kids, everybody's asleep. Nobody knows who you are unless they want to come to the racetrack. Yeah. And it was fun and great at the time. And I met a lot of people. I met, and my name got really spread out there. Here in the last few years for the things that I've done at the racetracks, which was very entertaining at times. Never really had no major conflict with anybody. Just the normal Saturday night racing. You beat up bumpers or wrecks or whatever's going to happen.
No major all right, Flash, listen. No major. He's one of the few guys. I get a bunch of people call me and says, hey, I need you to fix something. And I say, all right, bring it over. Doodle says, yeah, you may want to come look at this shit first.
Yeah.
That was his phone call to me.
Yeah.
I said, Doodle, I can fix it. He goes, I don't know if you can fix this one.
That car there was the first time when I actually even heard about Doodle.
Oh, yeah.
When I was over your car, I said,
the figure eight car, the extreme car.
Yeah.
I said, what are you going to do with this thing? He said, I'm going to cut it in half, put it back together.
I'm going to fix it.
Well, when we put them, when I drug that car over to Bobby's house, he lived over off 60.
Yeah.
And when him and his father, Dale, put that thing in between two trees to straighten it somewhat sort up, I'm like, I don't know about this ordeal. And, never doubted him, but I was like, I don't know, this don't look normal, you know. But it worked out, man. We was racing 2 weekends from that, you know, back. I know his brother loaned me his car, like in the process, all I had to do was put my motor in it. And went out there and won the heat race. And I would have won the feature if something, I think the carburetor or something acted up. You know, a car that I'd never even been in. I just put my motor and transmission in it and rode out with it.
Yeah.
While Bobby was working on the other one that got all mangled up. But
I told Doodle, I said, Doodle, I'm going to take it, I'm going to tie it to the rollback, tie it to the tree, and I'm going to pull the center of the cage back over. He said, what?
Yeah.
I said, once I do all that, I'm going to cut all the tore up stuff out. And he said, you're going to pull the center of the cage back over? I said, you may just want to go on home, man.
Yeah.
I got this. Don't worry about it. And voila, it was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got it fixed for him.
yeah, I ended up throwing a new body on it. It was badass there.
Yeah, it looked better after the wreck than it did before.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh, it ain't the same cars, no way, you know, other than that tube frame that we illegally put in there, they said. So,
Yeah.
but it passed inspection, we got the race, so whatever happened, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, it was so funny.
I remember Mike Gibson said, no, we need this car here, just don't even worry about that, just bring it on over here.
I told Doodle, I said, Doodle, if it's that big of a deal over a frame rail on the right side, I said, man, I got an old car out back, old frame. I'll cut it down and we'll put a couple. Yeah, we'll put a couple tacks on it if it's that big of a deal. I said, but I don't think they're going to say a word because they knew that this right side was sitting in the center of the car.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've known Doodle for damn near my whole life.
Yeah.
The funny story about Doodle. So we were at the racetrack, and I don't know if Digit will get mad at me for saying this.
He won't ever hear none of this.
So we're down at Kokomo Speedway, and I pull in, and I'm going to unload my car, and Doodle's got his late model there, and I think Watson was driving for you at the time, or maybe Doodle was driving that night. Digit just got off his vacation, and Digit tells me, he goes, you know, I ain't seen you in forever. And I said, Digit, we don't hang out the same places. He goes, you're right. Digit just got off a 5-year vacation. I was like, no, you ain't going to see me in 5 years.
Yeah.
But that was so funny. But Doodle, a lot of people don't understand because you're Mr. Excitement. You're the guy that cuts the crossover, does all the figure eight stuff. A lot of people in our area have no clue about the super late model, the modified racing on dirt, all that stuff years before, do they?
No, that's what everybody's like, you know, because I never really, I did win a couple events, but nothing major in that outlaw car. I mean, you know, I'm a Lucas Oil Show every time we show up, you know that. But nobody remembers the front wheel drive days or the dirt late model when I'm out here racing against Bloomquist and Bab, and you just want to keep naming them. I mean, they're out there. You know, we would show up at the Dirt Track World Championships, or we'd show up at a Lucas Oil Show. Even though, you know, I didn't have the money nowhere near what they had, but you know, we ran against some of them guys. And you know, Jeff Watson, man, we won. I don't know. He told me the other day, but I know we won 15 or 20 events. You know, with me being a car owner, and we had a good chemistry there. You know, he kept the car up. Him and his father. You know, I financially supported it, and Thursday night was my deal to drive to Campbellsville to get the car ready. You know, they'd already have it pretty much done. You know, my ordeal was if I needed shocks or tires, you know, bring it down Thursday night, and we load that thing up. Now Friday, you know, we went to wherever, Clinton County, Ponderosa, whatever's racing Friday. If we had enough car, we had a race Saturday somewhere. So. But that happened, you know, that went along for a couple years there at least with Jay Watt. And then I went back to racing. And then when Bardstown shut down, you know, I kindly just did the It's kind of Chris Harmon's fault. 'Cause, you know, I would go help him, and then, you know, at the 3-hour, you know, I remember the ordeal up there, but, you know, I enjoyed that. You know, me and Richie over there hanging out. By the way, how is Richie?
Richie's doing good.
Okay.
He's
great.
Well, he's doing better.
Okay.
But he's going in the right direction.
Okay, I was thinking about that on the way out here. Just make sure I was going to, you know, make sure we don't forget about that. But, you know, we would hang out up there, and, you know, Rance would come over there. I'm over here tightening bolts up. He don't realize I've worked on late models, you know. He's like, man, make sure you don't over-tighten them. I remember having a handful of wrenches up there, and Rance come over, make sure you don't over-tighten them. I took that handful of wrenches and just laid them on the asphalt there. I said, here, you do it then.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, he's, you know, older, and how particular he was, and he probably didn't know who I was, you know, any kind of background, but I know how to turn some wrenches, and I've done a lot of different things, so I was not just twisting bolts off, you know. But, you know, and then everybody's like, man, you need to get you a car. This is like 2013, 2014 or something, and next thing you know, I'm over at Tony Johnson's, and we're talking about race cars, and like that, I'm remodeling part of his house, and he's like, me and Scotty Earl was going to team up by a T8. That's what was going to happen. Well, Tony Johnson overheard. He said, "Oh, I'll just build you one." I'm like, okay, you know,
okay,
and
sure.
That's where it started.
Yeah.
You know? I remember Chris having a front clip over, like a Hal clip or something, hanging up over in the back room. He might still be there. I don't know, but I know we came over here and measured a few things. Tony Johnson and myself, and we came over here and measured a few things to get, you know, the front clip going on what we had. But that was pretty much the start of the
Mr. Excitement.
Mr. Excitement.
Mr. Excitement. Because Doodle didn't. It took him a while to learn the figure 8 elegance. He didn't know. Doodle said, "I don't see no stop signs."
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I learned that early. You know, we went over there and practiced, and I shoved that brand new car. Every bolt on that thing was brand new. I shoved it in the wall. We tore the clip up, and after 3 motors, I tore up in the process of you know, we was trying to experiment getting the motor low and doing different oil pans and stuff like that. But I went over and I shoved it in the wall over at Sports Drum, and I got out, and I got out with just, you know, I'm dirt racing now. Before, I got out with just a race jacket on and regular blue jeans, and I remember Mike Gibson, like it was yesterday, he's like, boy, if you want to race this car, you're going to start wearing a far suit. I'm like, we're just I'm thinking, I'm just practicing. We used to race, we used to race like this all the time, you know, at the dirt tracks, but, you know, yeah, he got on me for just having pants on, but that was funny.
This Doodle's outlaw. Okay, he crashes on a Friday night. I think they practicing or something, and Tony's all mad at him.
Yeah.
Tony said,
"You should let it go of the brakes. You should let go of the brakes."
So Tony, see, Doodle put me in a bad spot because I didn't know all this. Tony was all mad at him, and so Doodle calls me and said, "Hey, can you fix my car?" And I said, "What car?" He said, "I'm outlaw." I said, "Well, yeah." So what about Tony?
I do remember it. Yeah.
I said, what about Tony? He goes, yeah, Tony told me he wasn't gonna mess with it this week. And I said, when do you need it fixed? He said, tomorrow. I said, you need it fixed tomorrow? He goes, no, by tomorrow, we're racing. So Doodle brings me his car over like 9 o'clock on Friday night, and I put half of a clip on the front of it.
Yes. Yeah.
I was like, Doodle, what happened? He goes, I locked the brakes up, drove it in the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember Tony was mad at him, but Tony kept calling him because Tony wanted to make sure that, you know, I didn't cut nothing off. You know, just straighten it, whatever we need to do. And I cut underneath the A-frame bracket and cut the tubing out, the frame rail, and, you know, clamped it all back up and welded it back up. And we set the bump steer and everything. And we passed Tony Johnson's test.
Yeah.
So Tony, hey, you can work on anything of mine anymore. I don't care. Yeah.
Right.
Did he say it like that?
Yeah. Well, yeah, kind of. Yeah. Yeah. I knew what he was saying.
Yeah.
All right. But Doodle's had a lot of fun adventures on the road. He's raced in Florida. He's raced all over the country. I know you're enjoying family life now.
Yes.
But do you miss it? Do you miss not going to the events? Or, cause I know you still get out and go watch quite a bit. Do you miss it? Or is it just something that's like, you know, I don't miss it to the point where I need to do it?
You know, yes, I miss it. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna sit here and lie and fib you everybody. You know, and when I go to the, you know, especially the Outlaws, if I watch them on the internet or something like that, I just get that itch, you know. And I'm thinking, I'm like, and I'm trying to keep myself so busy. Because, I mean, I still know how to build one of them. And, you know, and I can even, and the much work I've got, I can afford to buy one now. But, you know, especially, you know, the past year before the accident, you know, we had Moose helping. You know, what better person do you need on your corner than him? You know,
than Audie.
and, I mean, and you know, he taught us a lot and taught us stuff that we didn't know. You got to realize we built our own, other than that Tony Johnson car. And nothing against Tony, he's a heck of a guy, but he didn't build a car that I race against. You know, first experimental car. You know, everything was right on it, but it's not where. You know, it started out with a leaf spring.
Yeah.
And then we ended up tearing it up. Me and Mark Harmon got into some kind of conflict. I don't know how that ever happened, but it did. And but I ended up tearing the shackles and stuff off from it. And then Pat Pierce like, hey, let's put this on a 3-link and let's go from there. And boy, it took off. You know, and that's when we was popping the wheelies and all that. Next thing you know, everybody was building 3-links again.
Yeah.
Again, you know.
Again, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, you know, his last past go around, you know, with Moose getting us back on the leaf springs, you know, because he's like, man, you're the one that needs the leaf springs. You're the one that eating the tires up and all that. You know, you need this traction the whole race, not
Just
20
part
laps,
of it, yeah.
not 20 laps of it.
Yeah.
So, and you know, with the locker set up and the shocks and all the support I was getting, we was getting better. You know, like California, I should have won that race out there. Painesville, I should have won that race. You know, and it's a lack of experience at the end of the race, you know, where I should have held them off or be more offensive or something like that.
He's used to running 25-lap races.
Yeah.
I mean, now you got him running 200, 300.
Yeah, you're
500-lap race. What the hell?
You know, and these people are crying over at Sportsdrome and these other little racetracks, they're running 25 laps, getting out sweating. I'm like, you're in the car for 15 minutes. We're in the car for 5 hours.
Yeah.
You know, 5 hours of nothing but heartbeat the whole time. You know, I mean, you don't have it. I mean, it's you know, you don't have no free time other than a caution. You know, there's nothing. You've always got to be on a lookout. And yes, I do miss the cars. The atmosphere kind of was getting negative in some sort. You know, because I've drawn some enemies, and you know, the wives and the girlfriends was throwing rocks at me as I showed up. But
that's just part of it, though.
yeah, and I
I mean, it could be like Victor Lee.
That's when you know you made it.
Yeah.
But not only did they throw stuff at Victor Lee, they wrote his name on the bathroom walls. Like, screw this dude.
Yeah.
So it could have been worse.
I talked to Victor a couple days ago. Yeah, me and him are good friends. We raced a lot together, and we never really had I don't think we ever had an issue. You know, I know Bobby Carrier Jr. We used to have all kinds of issues, and he would come to me and like. Sorry, I'm like, this is the last time we're doing this sorry stuff.
This is the last sorry.
Isn't it weird though how when you're slow, you're friends with everybody?
Yeah.
And then but when you get fast,
there's
no more friends.
Yeah, and that's what happened. You know, all them guys up north, they can listen to this all they want. They knew I was a threat. You know, and. You know, and that's the last person they want to get beat by was Doodle Farris.
Yeah.
I mean, cause I was 8th, 9th, 10th place car. You know, now I'm getting up here running for positions. Yeah. You know, on the podium stuff, and they're not liking that.
Yeah,
you know?
hey, look at my goofy ass is going to be over taking pictures with you.
Yeah. I'm starting to get on that podium, and they're not liking this. They're over kicking the toolboxes and you know. Splitting up with their girlfriends or whatever, and
hold on a second. Let's just be honest. If we're talking up north, some of them was with other people's girlfriends anyways.
Well,
the split up was gonna happen. That was gonna happen.
Yeah, it's a rough bunch up there. I love them all, you know, and to an extent. You know, but you know.
But I don't know if they seen all your pictures and stuff that you guys used to post on Facebook all the time, where something didn't work, you come in and cut the whole car.
Oh, that's right.
Cut the car up and start over. They don't realize how much work you guys was doing.
That's Scott right, man. We go up there and we run good. If we ran good and we got tore up, we got home that night, Saturday night, 2 o'clock in the freaking morning after you went down that new construction road they got.
Yeah.
And, you know, 2 o'clock in the morning, we're pulling this thing off the trailer and we're ripping body panels off, so we're ready for Sunday to... Well, we just might as well stay at the shop, you know. But to put it back together, because we knew we had a full work. I mean, we would many nights we would show up after the races and start cleaning the body, you know, fixing whatever.
Well, see, Kurt, he was talking about how he missed it, and you just made him realize he don't miss it.
Yeah, he don't miss
just
it.
Like, hold on a second.
That's what I don't miss.
Exactly.
Putting them pop ribbons back in it. You know, this last car that got totaled up there for some reason, I don't know what happened. Something happened, but
he tried to drive through the wall.
That was going to be that was going to be a lot of people. You know, it's like Austin Tunney talked to me that night, and he's like, "Man, I want to drive this car." You know, of course not the 3-hour, but he's like, "His car." And he's the only one I even let look under the car because it was some tricked up stuff from the phone calls to Moose every 2 hours. You know. Yeah. And you know, told me what to do here and there and everything. And Moose was a big, you know, don't get me wrong, you know, Scott was taking care of him too. You know, Moose ain't gonna work for free, and he don't supposed to with the knowledge he's got. Just like you, you know, you might help your brother for free, but anybody else comes in here, you're gonna have to charge because that's your knowledge. But Moose was really a lot of support, and I know that car was going to be fast, and just you know, it just what happened. But
well, like you said earlier, though, everything happens for a reason. Yeah. So it's not the. I mean,
end of the world. Yeah, I'm 50 years old. I mean, do I need to be in a figure 8 car because of the problems I had? Probably not, but I don't see it stopping me. Be honest.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just being straight up. You know, it's like your brother's offered that ride of his a couple times, and I'm like, man, I threw the helmet bag, and you know, I done got a new helmet and a suit and everything. I done threw it in the back of the truck, and I'm like, just tempt me one time, you know, and. And you
don't say nothing to my brother, because he not only tempt you, he'll drag you out and tell everybody you're gonna run over him. Yeah. Like he'll make you.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll stir the pot just a little.
You know, and you know, we've had our little altercations on the racetrack, but at the end of the day, you know, when I pull in, I don't care if he's in the bathroom shitting or whatever, pants half down. Ricky's the first one under my car. You know, if he's at the racetrack, he was always my, you know, my go-to guy. And that's the same way with him. Look at the, you know, that little event we ran up there at, what's that little track up there beside Salem, that dirt track?
Thunder Valley?
Yeah, remember we went up there and run that 17-hour race and won it? And, you know, it seemed like 17 hours. We were there forever.
It's a 12-hour enduro they ran.
It was a long time. Yeah. But me, Corey, and him, and we ended up winning that event. And I just remember, like, he would get mad because he'd tell me how to drive, and I would tell him how to drive, and Corey wouldn't listen anyway, so it didn't matter if we told him.
Anyway, Corey didn't know how to drive, so it didn't matter.
Yeah. But you know, me and Ricky was always the enduro guy. We always liked that tearing up stuff and just running forever, you know. So. Yeah.
Well, do you see yourself maybe taking a Hornet or a Crown Vic and going to run some enduros, or is it just, you know?
I did tell Dean the other night when they ran that one up there in what's the other little? Scottsburg. I said, you know, I seen Ricky was doing real well out there, and I was like, Dean, if you hold another one of these events, let me know, because I'm in this one.
Yeah.
Dirt.
Yeah.
You know, the ones at Sportstrom, I mean, nothing against Sportstrom, but they're just not the same as them dirt events, you know. And,
well, you're talking to two guys that, nothing against the Sportstrom. We grew up there. I mean, the Sportstrom is home. I mean, we've had Mike Gibson on and Brandon Taylor. We've covered a lot. And Sportstrom will always be home.
Yeah.
But it's just not dirt racing.
Yeah.
It's just, and that's what I tell people, like, about the 3-hour. And they talk about, you know, I know we're getting close to the 3-hour, and, you know, everybody in the city of Louisville and Indianapolis are, you know, pumped up about the 3-hour. And I said, man, it's not the World 100. It's not the IMSA Super Nationals. Hell, it ain't even the Kokomo Clash or the Smackdown. I mean, it's just not. I mean, I understand why people love it, and hey, I get it. I was that same guy. I was that same kid. But when you get out and see other stuff, yes, it's neat, but it's not what everything else is.
And you know, it's like a lot of them guys that races at 3 hours. They've never been to the World 100. I have. I've entered my car. Didn't make it, of course, but you know, I've been there. I've been to the Dream. I've been to all of them. You know, I've been, you know, every dirt track within 500 miles, just like you all. I've been to them, if not raced them. You know, Duck River. We used to own that little racetrack. We show up, we was packing a trophy home.
Yeah.
And you know, it might not have been a name brand down there, but they're still tough. Them home track guys are still tough.
Well, if you beat David Earl Gentry at Duck River, you done did something. You done did something.
I remember Gentry. I remember the name. Yeah. And he's the daddy there.
Yeah.
But you know, when you take Johnny Wheeler or Jeff Watson in the show like that, you know, your good chances was above normal. You know.
Well, when you take Johnny Wheeler and Jeff Watson just about anywhere, I always give Watson hell all the time. I'm always
he loves it.
Yeah, but me and Jay Watt, we are pretty cool. We had a drivers meeting once, and the Jay Watt didn't like the way that
he don't hold nothing back.
No, and he didn't like the way we were doing our heat races. and we talked. And then afterwards, he said, "Well, I see what you're saying, but listen to what I gotta say." And I told him, and I listened. And then I said, "Well, I heard what you said, but listen to what I'm saying." And he goes, "See, that's why me and you get along." But I love Jeff Watson. But yeah, Jeff Watson, Johnny Wheeler drive your car.
Yeah.
I know it was a ton of work, but how much fun is it to sit back, own the car, and watch two of the greatest in our state? You know, because you guys had a limited budget to compete against, national touring events. I mean, those two guys both could wheel a race car.
Yeah. Which I had a little 380 Ford. It was a Roush Yates motor. It's 9,500, 10,000 RPM. That's what you had to turn it.
Yeah.
And when it got dry slick, that car was a mean machine. But I mean, hammer down qualifying, it was tough because you're racing against the 430s and all that stuff. They was tough back then. But when that track showed any kind of shine, it was game over. And especially with Johnny, it was a little bit aggressive, more than Jay Watt was. Jay Watt's kind of a bottom feeder, and he liked it down there. Where Johnny would hang it all to the top and everything it had. You
had to fix the quarter panels on the wheel. You don't get the nickname the Wheelman by riding around the infield tires.
And Johnny would work you to death. He would work you to death. Even though if you're fastest qualifier, you're still changing shock springs or whatever. And I enjoyed that. I mean, with them taking care of the car and the support, you got to realize at that time of my era in life, I had 20 plus employees, had a heck of a business, so money wasn't really an issue. We needed something, we got it. We didn't have BloomQuest money or anything like that, but we can run anywhere we want to run.
We had Doodle money, so that's all we needed.
Yeah. We could run anywhere we wanted, and we was going to have new tires, and we was going to have that car shining the next race, so and that's what happened even with Jay Watt. Jay Watt learned a lot between the two of us. I remember the first win down at Ponderosa. We bought a set of AFCO shocks from what was them boys down there in Deatsville? It was
Brad and Dustin Neat.
Brad and Dustin. We brought a set up. I think it was Dustin shocks. We bought it was called M2's double adjustment. And you had the canisters. Remember I just had some old Gorillas or something on there when I bought the car. But we bought these shocks and we bought them bad boys on this car. We went down there fast time, won the heat race, won the feature, and the 50-50. Cleaned house.
Yeah,
we cleaned house.
Won the 50-50.
Yeah, and it wasn't just a couple $100. It was a few $100. And
that stands after that one.
Yeah.
Just imagine what a set of shocks did. Because we was running on, and that's what boiled down to Jeff Watson driving my car. When I bought this car, Timmy York and them guys drove this car before. And Johnny drove it before, but it didn't have a shock package on it. I couldn't get the left side lift up. I mean, I can run down at Brownsville and kick their butt, but whenever
Yeah, it was Brownsville. The dude was there the infamous night when I was gonna tear down the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
not turn 3 or 4 wall you was.
Yeah. No, not the wall. No, I was gonna tear down the press box because they weren't gonna pay me.
Yeah.
My dad tells me, he goes, "All right, I'll tell you what you do. You're gonna pay us." And I'm like, "Dad, it ain't that big a deal. They want to disqualify me. They want to disqualify me." He goes, "No, they're not gonna disqualify you for that." So my dad and what was his name? I can't remember his name. Kevin. My dad and Kevin start going back and forth.
Yeah.
And Kevin comes across the car, so I pick him up and I slam him on the hood of my race car.
Right.
And the sheriff goes, "Hey boy, you don't want to do that around here."
Yeah.
My dad said, "Get in your car and go take it to the trailer." And I said, "All right." So I get in the car and I go take it to the trailer. And my dad said, "Hold on a second, stop." And my dad goes, "Kevin, where's your wife at?" He said, "He's in the press box." "She's in the press box." My dad goes, "Why? You got 10 minutes to give me my money or he's driving through that press box." I'm like, "I'm doing what? The sheriff just told me to leave."
Yeah.
So we got paid and I was never allowed to go back no more.
Yeah.
So, that's how Brownsville went. I'm like, hold on a second. This is not, but so it was me, Doodle, and Helton. Heaton, David Eaton.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won all 3 of our races. All 3 Louisville guys, they won.
Yeah.
You guys load up and leave.
I remember one night it got violent. I went down there and I think I won the heat and the feature, and it was kind of a routine. I knew I was going to win for some reason. And if it rained that week, man, I knew I was going to win. I just outmotored them. I'm like, please rain. Please rain. I'm begging for rain Thursday night, so I go down here Friday and kick their butt with the horsepower. And I remember pulling off the racetrack and collecting my little trophy or whatever, pulling off the racetrack. Boy, here they come. They was coming everywhere. I didn't know what to do. And I kind of was like, I'm not going to sit in this car. And I probably had 4 or 5 guys the most, whatever could fit in the truck.
He had NASCAR with him.
Yeah.
NASCAR, don't let him kill me.
Yeah, I don't know. That's before his era, I think. It's like 05, 06, 07.
Oh, yeah, NASCAR's still a baby then.
Yeah. And then I took a steering wheel. I remember it like yesterday. I took a steering wheel and I slung that thing and hit somebody in the leg. I know it broke his knee. And, boy, it slowed everybody down, and they're like, this boy ain't right. And I wasn't.
And still aren't.
and I kind of proved a point. And, and the track guy, Kevin, he even loaned me his car one night. Mine was messed up and I was leading the points. And he's like, go over and get in that thing. It's an old 81 Rayburn, I think.
Yeah.
It was old. But
swing arm car.
And I ended up winning in that car. I just knew the little racetrack and it was fun.
That racetrack was fun.
It
really
fun.
was. It was fun. My 2 favorite tracks in Kentucky that I ever raced was that in Glasgow. And a lot of people were like, "What about Florence?" Florence is fun, but it wasn't as fun as those.
Yeah, you got to be serious at Florence. Like Bardstown, you had to be serious. There was no track to play games on. It had to be serious. And you knew I draw. Butch Barber built that modified after a brand new modified for himself. And the guy I was driving for, he ended up buying that car from Butch, and I drove it probably 7 or 8 nights before I destroyed it. But
the backstretch wall, Bardstown got him.
Yeah. It was just one of them deals. I was leading the race, and the guy got around me on the last lap or something, and I drove that thing in there, and we destroyed every bandit on the racetrack. Yeah. But that was one bad boy right there, and. But I've drove everything. I've drove cars for Scotty. The street stock dirt cars. A lot of people don't remember. I think they remember is Dang It Doodle and Mr. Excitement and the dirt guys still know me, but the people here in the last 10 years know me as the figure 8 driver.
As the figure 8 guru.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Now that you're semi-retired, or not fully retired, there's maybe an opportunity. How much fun is it hanging out with the grandkids? Actually realizing that you have a wife now.
Yeah.
All that family stuff. How fun is that now?
Yeah, I just got home earlier from a special event I was at today. But one of my granddaughters, which the older one, is there, and I'm like, I got to spend 20 minutes with her, and you just don't want to leave. But my daughter gets up early, go to work. So she's wanting to get home, and the baby is a little bit tired. But I had her smiling and giggling, and she's starting to get teeth in her head, and it just.
Yeah.
It just makes you think a lot, because if not, I would have got off work and I would have just ran over to the shop and start working on cars, and that's what I do miss, but I don't miss. Now that I've got the 2 grandkids, I've got 2 of them. I don't, I don't get to see the other one as much as the one, Tommy's and Desi's, because, they work a lot and just different scheduling, but I get to see them when on their off days or in the evenings. And the grandkids, I don't know until you get one. It's definitely totally life changing for you. Financially, it's no big deal because now I'm working harder than I ever have, and we're not worried about how we're gonna get tar money. We're good. We're gonna eat steak this week. We're I'm like, well, I know I got 30 more days now, honey, but I got to get a set of tires too. I don't have to worry about that. And I did have great sponsors and a lot of support whenever we was racing, but it's just now I go over and help them guys. Like saying tomorrow, if I go to the go-kart track, I'll show up at 7 o'clock, and if I want to leave at 9, I can't. Not dragging a car with me or not loading a car. I'll loan tools. I've got trailers out there that people's got in mind. Yeah. If they need a truck or whatever, I'm helping anybody. It's like Raymond Johnson called me last night. He's like, hey dog, you know how he is. Yeah. Hey dog, I got us 2 tickets up there to the Dome. Just get us some motel rooms. He said, we'll come back Saturday night. I said, we're not coming back Saturday night. He said, what do you mean? I said, that's the race. I said, we're going to be wore the hell out, and I'm going to have to do all the driving. No, we're in the room for Saturday night too, bub. And whatever, just have your woman to do whatever, how it is. And so we're going to the
Gateway,
The Gateway, yeah. So, we have a lot of fun together. We don't even really talk about racing. We just go up there and see who is the famous person we can take a picture with, and
He got Hay Wallace last year.
We got Hay Wallace. Right before, we was the last one. Right, we cut in line. You know, there was like 50 people there. We cut in line. And we got our pictures with him, and he had to get. He was calling for drivers media or drivers on the track.
Yeah.
We was the last one to take a picture, and I know I felt bad for the person behind me. I'm like, dude, we just cut all y'all off, and you don't get a picture of Wallace.
One cool story, because I know how much Terry is a supporter of Doodles, and I don't know. I've never told Doodle this, but it was one year he was qualifying in for the 3-hour, and it was like 30 seconds left in qualifying. Doodle went out his first lap. He screwed it all up, and he was on the bubble. And in the second lap, he put it in, and he was like the last car. Like they threw the checker and they turned the board off.
Right.
And his wife damn near Carl Edwards the fence, climbed the fence, pumping, and I was just sitting back and I was like, because there's been many a times as your wife, Kurt, and my wife could say, screw this.
Yeah.
We've done this for so long. Why are we still doing this? And she was his biggest supporter. And that to me, that was just so cool that, she was just engaged. 30 years of doing this, she's still just engaged, and it means just as much to her. So that's just a pretty neat deal.
Yeah, she's. She was there. Luckily she's got a good job. Same with like Brandon and Michelle and them. But they really helped out when I was down, and kind of kept our bills paid and everything. With her getting paid. But it tore her up, and I understand. Married for we're high school sweethearts. That's how long we've been together. And see her,
Lucky her.
Yeah, no shit.
What was going through her mind when she looked at you and said,
I don't know.
That's the asshole I want to spend the rest of my life with?
Yeah, and I don't know. It's just, and that's what made me think, whenever I did have the accident. And, she's like, you're never racing again, never racing again. As I've got better and I've worked hard to get where I'm at now from the wreck, and she's like, give me 1 year. I'm like, well, the 3-hour is like the 17th. So the 6th was when I had to wreck. I was like, let's start looking for a car. So no. You know what I mean? And that's the only thing that, because I seen what they had to go through. My wife spent a lot of time at the hospital with me. My daughter, a lot of people don't know this, but my daughter broke her foot the same night running down the bleachers. You think my wife's a supporter? You ain't seen my daughter in action.
Yeah.
And she broke her foot, or tore up something. Not actually broke it like I did, but if something happened, she had to end up getting it in a boot. But
she was in the boot while using pins and needles.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But she would never go to the doctor until I was out of the hospital, and then she went to the doctor to get her foot checked. I'm in a cast, and she's in a boot, and all kinds of craziness going on. My wife's got to push me around a wheelchair, and the other one got to push 2 wheelchairs. I don't know what. It was just chaotic, And the trip back to Indy, the doctor that saved my life, regardless. A lot of people don't realize that. He saved my life. He told me, he said, you had less than 20 minutes, or you would have been a goner.
Yeah.
And.
Well, that kind of puts things in perspective.
Yeah.
When the doctor tells you that, you're just kind of like, we don't have to race every night.
Yeah.
We can go watch. We can go help people.
And don't think that don't run through my head whenever I'm trying to build a car or trying to get in a car. You get that feeling.
Intuition.
You get that, and you're like, I want in that car, but then you're like, man, I remember laying up in that hospital, and I didn't know if I was going to make it. I went through a lot of pain. A lot of pain. I should have stayed in that hospital. I stayed in there for 10 days. I should have stayed another probably a week, because that fentanyl was taking care of me. But they didn't let me have that fentanyl when I went home.
Yeah.
And they was injecting that stuff into me like there was no tomorrow. But
he's like, hell, I'm fine, boys.
I'm good, boy. Yeah. 5 nurses coming in here looking at me every 30 minutes. I'm like, I'm good. We can hang out here for a while. But I wanted, they told me if I could piss and shit, you could go. I ate everything that came in that room. And I just like, you're homesick already. You should be here, but you want to be home too. And a lot of pain and suffering, that I didn't tell a lot of people. I haven't told a lot of people, but it was one of the roughest things I've ever happened to me, in my whole entire life on pain wise. I've been in fist fights, got the hell beat out of me, and car wrecks and go-kart wrecks and all that, but nothing like this. It was more serious than what it really looks too.
Well, that's and I knew it was bad, you know, because I wasn't there, but you know, Brandon was there, and he called me, and you know, and he works with your wife, so
Right.
you know, I knew a lot of the inside knowledge before things started coming around, and you know, and I remember, you know, just saying, hey, you know, if you guys need anything, just let us
Right.
know, you know,
that, yeah.
whatever we need to do,
Yeah.
because you know, I don't think they even knew at the time exactly how bad it was.
Yeah.
They were just, all right, what's the next step? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was,
Yeah.
there was a lot of stuff. But one thing crazy out of it, as we both kind of ragged on the Sportsdrome a little bit, but Sportsdrome is our home.
Yes.
But the community, the
Came
racing
together.
community came together for the little South End boy to go at the Fairdale High School.
Yeah.
You know, and that's crazy to
Yeah.
think of that. You know, that everybody comes together when, as much as you don't like your competitor or, you know, how guys at the racetrack, when shit goes down, we're all in it together.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we're all going to make it work. So, you know, I'm glad that the community stood behind you and helped out, because there's a lot of people didn't know the extent of the injuries.
Right.
You know, 'cause
and a lot of people still don't. You
yeah,
know,
and it's none of their business, really.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know, that's
Yeah.
you know, it's none of their business. But for
Right.
the people that knew the extent of the injury, you know, sitting here doing this podcast right now, we
awesome.
we never thought that was going to be the case.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, it's like, okay, he's
No,
going to
I'm
be
a,
okay.
I'm a bad son of a bitch right now, son. I mean,
Yeah.
I ain't lying. I'm tough as I've ever been.
Yeah, he doesn't see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Come on and bring it.
And I'm eating. You know, used to I'm like I could go the whole dang day without eating, but boy, I'm gonna pass up a damn restaurant or somebody's free food or whatever.
Yeah.
Shit, like, yeah, me neither.
You know, and you can tell I picked up a little bit on the shed there, but you know, it's I'm loving it, and I like I said earlier, I don't know why it happened. It happened. You're talking about my wife. That's a bad bitch. I mean, you know, I'm not scared of any son of a bitch around here. Y'all know that. Y'all see me in pits that I'm not scared of, but her.
Yeah.
And when she speaks,
You listen.
I listen.
Yeah.
And you know, she makes sure that she got pissed off about something earlier, boy. She was hot. I forgot what it was. I'm like, I think it's something on the internet of one of our nephews or something, boy. She is ready to whip. Are we dating the same guy or some kind of bullshit? I don't know. I'm like, I am not getting into this.
Hold on a second. Dude, let me ask you this. Speaking of internet stuff, if that worst drivers thing was out 4 years ago, how many times would somebody turn you in?
I'm surprised that some bitches haven't yet, and I don't give a shit if they do. I'm gonna pour it on them. I don't care, and I will pay. If it takes $1,000 to find out who the hell it was, it's gonna be hell, son. It's gonna be hell. Just go ahead and do it. If y'all want to do it, that's fine too. We'll split the damn money. I don't care.
I'm just saying, like, how? Like,
If
that would've came
I've
up
been
4
on that
years
son of a bitch
ago.
for 20 times. But they're like now they're going down there at 48. Boy, nah, man, that motherfucker's in a badass wreck. We ain't gonna fuck with him.
we ain't gonna mess with him.
Yeah,
You're like, bring it.
He lives through that.
Yeah, he made it through that. This ain't gonna bother him.
Yeah. And that's why my wife's like, I'm surprised you're not on there yet. I said, give it fucking time. It'll be there.
It'll be there.
After they hear his son bitch podcast, they're like, hey, I'm gonna get him right here. Probably one of my damn buddies.
So here's the
And
thing.
whatever they say, it's probably gonna be half-ass true anyway, so it don't matter.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what I was about to get at in that whole thing. Do some of them go too far? Yeah,
Yes.
probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
But in the same token, if it went far and you put that same information on Facebook, don't be surprised the shit show back up.
Yeah.
In the same token,
It's kind of. I ain't read a lot of them, but it's kind of interesting. People that I know, and I think they just put something binge guy or something on there. Wasn't it? Silly.
I'll go ahead and put it out there. Royce got Kevin.
Is that who it was?
Yeah,
Okay.
Royce got
God damn it, they ain't gonna get no money now.
Yeah. Royce got Kevin.
Yeah.
And what's really funny is, so we got a little group message going on.
Yeah.
And somebody puts it in the group message, says, damn, they got nephew. And Kevin says, "Screw you, Royce."
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But probably too many people got that picture, so
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it kind of boils it down to that point, unless it got spread on the internet. But yeah, I don't know. Some of it's kind of ridiculous, and it's not only that page. It's like, are we dating the same guy? There's so much silly shit going on out there. And I just
See, Doodle never had to worry about that because besides Terry, everybody else said, "No, that dude's too damn crazy. We ain't dating the same cat."
Yeah, that son of a bitch buck wild. I can't.
That's not.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, I got a lot of females that loves hugging and kissing on me, but other than that, we're to an extent.
Well, that's because you're Mr. Excitement.
And some bitches, they're naming their dogs after me up there. I mean, I don't know. I mean, and that's another thing. Them some bitches up there get mad at. I go up there and spend $1,000 on T-shirts, and I throw them up in the bleachers to try to collect a fan, and I got every titty showing up there, and. I remember the night up there at Painesville, I'm the mayor there, like you could say whatever, and Mark Tunney came over to me. Mark Tunney, the 3T, that guy right there,
Yeah, the marksman came to Doodle.
Yeah, he came to me and said, "Boy, you get in that goddamn car before," I did say GOT, and get in that dang car before we all get beat up. I said, "I can't help they're all cheering for me and booing for you, bub. I mean, it's the first time in a lifetime."
They're cheering for me. Shut up.
Yeah, I mean, I've got all these big old girls up there yelling at me. That's fine. I don't get all butt hurt.
Hey, if you're in Painesville, you're going to need a big old girl. It gets cold up there in the wintertime.
Oh, yeah.
If you're going to have a crew up there, you want her ass to be big.
So the second event, I knew to get the 3T shirts, or 3X or whatever the hell. The 3XLs, I mean, because you had to have it for the big girls.
Yeah, because Painesville, that's a different breed up there.
And that night that I ran second, it paid $5,000 and $4,000, and I led that race, and it was just a few laps to go, and the caution came out. Because of Mark Tunney. And,
Mark, what the hell was you doing?
Come on, man. Take your raggedy ass car, put it in the pits, man. I mean,
you're up here holding up Doodle, bro.
You're over got a flat tire on the back straightaway and want to hold up a damn caution 5 laps to go. You ain't going nowhere. Get out of here.
Yeah,
but anyway,
you haven't caught him at 75 laps. What's another 5?
He ain't gonna get mad at me. He can't hit me because I ain't on the racetrack. But anyways.
He's got bigger fish to fry.
He ain't worried about no damn
We're
Doodle.
good. He ain't worried about Doodle.
And I was thinking at the same time, I'm like, we're 14 hours away from home, it seems like. Because there's nothing to look at on the way up there except for Kings Island. But,
but be glad you didn't miss the exit or you would drove right in the damn lake.
Yeah, no shit. And then, I said it pays $5,000 to win or $4,000 for second. I said, if I take this son of a bitch out, we ain't going to get neither one. So, and Craig, he won. He's a good friend of mine, and his wife is a great person, too. And I was like, I should have won that race if I'd have got a little bit more aggressive, but I just rolled it out and got second. Sometimes you just say, I don't want to win. And it's like the 50-lap races. You take Corey that goes up there and wins the 50-lap races, you think he's done something. He's not done nothing. I mean, you're a 50-lap race guy. I mean, go up there and win them 100-lappers and these 1-hour races and stuff like that, and then
It gets a little tougher when the laps get stacked up.
Yeah, and to what I told Scott Wright and Scotty, I was like, I ain't worried about these 50 lappers. We're going to run wherever, and we're going to use it as a test session. Yeah. We want the 1 hour. That's why I showed up at the 1 hour. That's why I showed up at the 3 hour. We want to be somewhere. I think my best 3 hours like 7th, which is great.
Yeah.
And that was my early stages of racing. And the other time I had a wreck in an intersection with somebody or something happened. It's just chaotic.
And Doodle had a wreck in intersection. I never would have guessed it. Never would have guessed it.
I don't know if I was so scared I just didn't want to stop, or if I just have no brains to not stop. I don't know which. I never figured that out.
Well, did the doctor give you any insight? Did he say, I got to work on, oh shit, you ain't got none? Or how does that work?
No, the best part about the doctor is, we went back up there, and after all the surgery and everything, I had 300 stitches put in my head. And
in Doodle's defense, that was an improvement to his beauty.
Yeah. And that Chinese doctor looked at me. He said, man, and that scar did, pretty much go away. He's like, man, when all that hair grows back, he said, you'll never see it. I said, if all that hair grows back, you one bad son of a bitch.
I've been bald since the 8th grade.
Yeah, I've been bald since the 8th grade. I inherited that real well from my father. So,
Doodle's picture. So anybody that loves high school basketball, go to the King of the Bluegrass. And Doodle's picture is hanging on the wall for the state champ. What year was the state championship?
91.
91 state champion. Doodle's the manager. So y'all thought I was going to say he's going to play, but he's not.
Yeah.
His ass was bald in.
Yeah.
I
had a receiving hairline then. Yeah, I had a receiving hairline then. But, I'm on the wall at the Fairdown High School. I'm on the wall at the Speedrome. Law at the jailhouse. I mean, I'm
He's had his picture in more places than you can imagine.
I mean, you know, I'm not trying to sit here and toot my own horn, but I've been around the block for, like you said, old Fairdale boy that, you know, lived on National Turnpike that didn't know how to spell basketball, but he's went a long ways in the last 20-something years, you know?
Yeah, well, here's the whole thing about that. You didn't have to spell basketball. You sit on the end of that bench and your ass went to Rupp Arena.
Yeah. I was there. I mean, there's a picture of me somewhere floating around with me in a suit and a tie and a tux at the Freedom Hall. At the Freedom Hall with Carlos and Marcus or
Marquise.
Jermaine Brown and what is that other boy's name? Well, whoever.
Yeah,
it's on the picture.
The other one. He's in the damn picture.
Yeah. We call him Killer. That's why I never remembered his damn name.
He was going to dunk it on your ass.
Yeah, he's the one ripping backboards down and stuff, you know. And we traveled. We went to Florida. You know, I'm 15, 16 years old, hanging out with.
Can you imagine Doodle, 15 years old at the Kingdom Sun basketball tournament in Florida?
That's
like, they let this son bitch out. Like, is he on work parole? Is he on parole? Yeah.
And you know, we went to, you know, we get to go home with Coach Garden and Coach Harden and Greshel. I mean, them guys were just. I think they used us, but. You know, because we was just such hard workers, you know.
Yeah, Doodle and Richie, the only two white dudes in Fairdale. Most famous white dudes in Fairdale. Doodle and Richie. You know why? Because they were Carlos's ride home. Hey, boy, get him home safe.
And I did have to take them guys down there. What was that dang place called over there? Carter Homes or some kind of shit.
Beach and Terrace.
I remember like one night I was down there, I had this old car and I took them home and this thing would backfire. And I would shut it off whenever I let them out and boy, the whole damn neighborhood woke up, you know?
But they didn't wake up, you know, they shooting back at your ass.
Shooting back at
like, damn, he's shooting at us, boy.
I like, you ain't scared to go down here? I'm like, heck no, man, all these brothers like me down here, you know?
I ain't scared, look at my dumb ass, I'll go anywhere. Well, one thing about Doodle, before we get off here, I've seen Doodle have the most unconventional sponsorship ever. With a lot of kids at the go-kart track, but with my nephew, Caden, Doodle told him, you win a feature, I give you $100.
Yeah.
Caden won the feature. So Doodle pays his $100 up. Caden wins like 6 features in a row. Doodle pays every week. I said, you need to
He got me last week.
I said, you need to renegotiate your contract. I said, you done screwed up.
Yeah, that's what I tell them. I don't give them no money to help them out, you know, during preseason or whatever, but I said, you win a race, I'll help you. And you don't have to ask me. I'm coming to you. And I do a lot of them. That's why I enjoy the kids, because they really appreciate it. And you can ask Brittany or Ricky, that when they're a little bit younger, even now though, he wins a race, he ain't worried about that trophy, he's trying to find me.
Yeah, where's Doodle
at? And I'm like, I'm like, dude, why didn't you run second? Come on, you know, you're over here, and I know it's going to cost me money. And I'm like, man, run second. Yeah, dang, you won.
I got a story about Doodle kind of sponsoring somebody too. When I first got my late model, I was looking for some wheels and just some late model stuff. I went over to Doodle's shop, he unloaded the whole bench off on me. He said, I get ready to leave. He goes, no, you're going to need this, you're going to need this, you're going to need this.
I was pretty much done with the dirt car stuff, and I had all that.
I appreciate it too, Doodle.
I mean, I think it's you and your father came over.
I still got all that stuff too.
Dude, awesome, man. And I was like, I didn't even really know who you was, you know. I'm like, but you called or some kind of whatever, and I'm like,
and Scott was helping me out a little bit too.
Yeah, Scott was. Scott's a great person, man. He's helped a lot of people. But I'm like, here, take this, and I think about this now, and I want to help people, you know, and I've helped Ricky a lot, you know that, and I've helped the people that I like. If I like you, you know that I like you. If I don't like you, you know that I don't like you.
Yeah, because he didn't help you. He didn't answer the phone call back.
Well, he won't answer my call. Well, I don't freaking like you, you know? I don't want to just flat out tell you it hurts your dang feelings, but I just don't like you, you know? And it's pretty simple, you know, and you know, we built a lot of cars for different drivers, and, you know, it's like right now that we got a couple cars over at the shop that, you know, they're working on, like Tyler, you know, and his kid, it's, 12 years old. You know, we're trying to help him and get him better. And Caden, he's like the other night, he's like, man, I won last week, can I get my money? I'm like, you're supposed to forget about that.
Yeah, you done screwed up, man.
And, and it makes you feel great when you walk through the pits there and they're hollering dang it Doodle or whatever, you know. And you know, I've had a lot of help with sponsors. if I wanted to race tomorrow, I could get on the horn. I never really asked. You know, everything came to me, like the Lowe's deal, the Scott Wright deal. I mean, Scotty Earl deal. You know, I could call Scotty right now, and we could start framing the car up right. You know, next week if I and he asked me, he said, what's your plan? I'm like, quit pressuring me.
Yeah,
you know?
my plan is to go and watch a few dirt late model races.
Yes.
Take my ass to Circle City and eat all night. That's my plan.
Yeah.
I seen Doodle at Circle City this year.
Yeah.
He said, well, they got good to eat here. I said, what the hell, you call me fat? Get the fried bologna.
And it's like, you know, the 3 hour, I don't know, we want to go, but I don't know, you know, I do enjoy. I don't know, I didn't really ever got to watch it because I was always in it for the last 10 years. Except last year, but
well, you was.
I
mean, your lap was good enough to get in. I think.
And I hate it for a lot of the fans because it did hurt that event because that was the 48th event.
Yeah.
You know,
So hold on, he's telling us this show's gonna bomb. Come on, dude.
It was good. It was good while it lasted.
It was good while it lasted. This is the 48th.
We're gonna have a UPS plane land on this son of a bitch out here. I have clutches everywhere.
Train gonna derail.
Train's gonna derail. Come through the damn wall here.
That's what my wife said. That 48, you ain't using that number again. And I'm like,
okay.
You know.
Hey, but you do listen. Okay.
You know how I got that number. You know how I got that number, right?
How'd you get the number?
It's from the guy, the Bischoff guy that built Bardstown.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He ran 48, and I remember Scotty, we was racing go-karts, and Scotty's like, man, I know somebody's got a label on you, buy everything they got. So, yeah, I went down there with a pocket full of money, bought everything he had. I think we ended up leaving. He's like, hey, man, come back and get these scales and tar gauges. He's, I don't want nothing.
I'm done.
Yeah. That Bischoff kid. And that number was on there, and I just left it. And it's something to do with his mother. And I built a figure 8 car, put it in the car show, won it, and he come up there and said, yeah. That's my number there. There's my old car. I'm like, no, that ain't your old car.
It ain't your old car, man. It's your old number, but it ain't your old car.
Yeah.
It was a Ron Allen car that I bought. I don't know if you ever remember him or not. And it was a Ron Allen car, and then I ended up buying him rockets and TNTs. So we had some great cars. But that's how I got that number. It's not. That was before Jimmy Johnson. Bro, you like Jimmy Johnson? I ain't got nothing against Jimmy Johnson, but that's not why I had my number. You know.
Yeah, Jimmy Johnson, he needs to like Mr. Excitement.
Yeah,
that's just the way that is. So, just to recap a little bit, A, you're not retired.
No.
B, you're enjoying the life with the wife, the grandkids, his daughter. You enjoy the family time.
Yeah.
You enjoy going to the racetrack, still helping the kids. Over the years, you've had a ton of people sponsor you, reach out, help.
Right.
We always ask people before we get off, who do you want to, thank? And I keep saying this, but I do a bad job. I need to kind of let you guys know beforehand.
Yeah.
But if he forgets anybody, it's on me because I told him it was going to be a bullshit session. But
it kind of got serious a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah, well, it does that. It does that sometimes, man. I can't be a total prick all the time.
You can.
Well, I do a pretty good job at that too. But over the years, who helped you, get up and down the road, make it happen? And
Scotty Earl, of course, he got me into the auto racing. Even helped me with the go-kart stuff. I raced that for a few years. We traveled a lot with it. Then Scotty, and then Scott Wright. This chemistry between us, we've been friends since I moved to my residence. His parents lived across the street from me, and ever since like 2013 or 15, or I think 2015 or 14 when he came aboard, and he just wanted to help on the car. And next thing you know, here a few years later, he's like, if you want to get serious, get rid of the front wheel drives and the Crown Vics and enduro cars and 14 other cars, street stock, and we'll get serious. And we did. And ended up building 3 cars and having a lot of success, with his support, my support. And then Tommy Wright, as he was getting older, he was just a kid still in high school, get out of school and come over to the shop and start working on cars, tearing up whatever he could. I would have to fix, because he didn't really know. And, them guys right there kept me, because, I was always using, or not saying using, but having Jeff Watson and Johnny and them driving for me, they had their own crew. I didn't really have that knowledgeable crew. I could get Digit or whoever to ride with me.
You got Digit in NASCAR.
Yeah, NASCAR. They didn't know how to change the damn lug nuts. And you didn't know nothing about a dirt late model. We didn't know, and didn't know nothing. And the Bardstown shutting down, it kind of got me away from the dirt car stuff because I didn't want to travel, more than I was. But that was my home track.
Yeah.
And then I got into like I said, the figure eight car, and we just started just getting a name out there, and then start picking up great sponsors, and I got a lot of sponsors over the years, big time people, and they've helped me a ton, and I can't say that I didn't have help, from friends that didn't even really say nothing. Don't put my name on there. Go buy you a set of tires or something, and that meant a lot, and
those are my favorite sponsors.
Yeah,
because
they never got to be acknowledged.
You never got to remember to say thank you to them.
Yeah. Well, I didn't get to win enough to thank the damn sponsors. I'd like to do it on these podcasts. Yeah. But I do remember one night we had a dash for cash over there, and Chris Harmon remembered it well as I do. It was Chris, Ben. It was top 6, or whatever it was, over at Sportstrom. I don't know if you remember it. But I drove that bitch in there like I did at Speedrome. And, everybody checked up, and I ended up winning that dash for cash. It was like $500 for 6 or 10 laps or whatever it was. And they got me up there in that booth, and I'd like to run that mouth I got here.
No, didn't run his mouth.
I forgot. I don't know who it was, maybe. I don't remember. Was it Mike Benson or who it was up there? It might have even been Brandon. But he said, what do you think about that race? What about beating Chris Harmon and Ben Tony? I'm like, Chris who? Ben who? And I know that kind of affected him, but I was loud and I was proud, and that night I was like,
I did my damn thing, man.
Yeah. And that night, and I told Brandon, I was like, where's my trophy, man? He said, oh no, that's a dash for cash. You just get my. I said, no, I did a damn trophy.
I just won the biggest race of my career.
Yeah. I just spanked these guys. I don't know if I scared them or what the hell happened, but I won. And we had a hot ride that night, and he ended up finding a trophy for me or something. That was pretty neat. But like I said, I won some heat races and stuff like that. I just never got the chance to win that race, and I want to. And I'm not saying I'm gonna start tomorrow or building a car. I don't know. I'm not putting it out here what I'm going to do. I'm going to let these son bitches worry about what I'm going to do. But I ain't done with the figure eight racing, okay? The doctor said I don't need to be fighting, which is no problem, at the time. But, he didn't say I couldn't race. He said, I would suggest you not to, but he says he didn't say I didn't.
I don't think you gotta worry about the doctor. I think you gotta do more convincing on the wife. That's what I'm thinking. I think
and I told her,
your words, not mine. The little Chinese feller, I don't think you gotta convince him.
No. That's what I told somebody the other day. I was like, if I could get somebody to qualify for me, I can run the race. I don't have no problem doing that. I just have a hard time qualifying.
Yeah. Well, when they say drive it in there like you stole it, it's not. They don't mean it figuratively.
Yeah.
Don't drive it in there if you can't drive it in no more.
Yeah. At that few seconds there, it's like R.J. Norton. He called me. He's like, man, he says, you couldn't have done nothing. He said, I don't care, killing it, whatever. He said, at that point, you had no control. Yeah. He said, you couldn't have done nothing. And he said, I'm calling you for one reason. He said, I'm just glad they took you to the hospital. They took you, because if you didn't, we wouldn't be talking right now.
Yeah.
Not trying to talk about another hospital, but, I got sent to a hospital where the NFL guys go, where the Lucas Oil guys and the monster truck guys and the Indy 500 guys. This is a hospital they go to when they get head trauma. Right. So I was in,
good hands anyway.
Could you imagine being at Brownsville?
Yeah.
Not trying to be mean.
I know.
Or even.
Well, it's funny that you, not funny, but it's funny that you say that, because there's a lot of times, Kurt and I work for a series, and we roll into these towns, and I'm like, yeah, that would suck to get hurt here tonight, because it's an hour and a half to Knoxville.
Or get beat up.
Or get beat up.
And I was talking to somebody, I don't know who it was, the last time I was up at Speedrome, it's been, I forgot what, one big event or something, and I went up there, and they was like, you're responsible for all these fart trucks, you're responsible for this or this and that. I'm like, what do you mean? He said, because of you,
we got
all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all never seen a picture or not, but there was like 5 fire trucks on. It's not like I'm sorry to say this, but not like Bowman Gray, when this guy passed away, they was getting a record out there trying to hook up to this car. This is a NASCAR facility racetrack. It kind of upset me. It's very sad. It kind of upset me that they didn't have some kind of EMS out there quicker than what they had. If you sit there and watch it, and the reason I watch that because I've been through that.
That was you. I mean,
I've been through that, and I'm like, they're worried about the damn record versus getting this guy out of the car. It took too long. And could they saved him? I don't know. I mean, but I think it just took too long for them. I'm blessed that I got taken care of as fast as the flagman was out of I think I knocked him out of the onto my car. He was out there trying to when I woke up they was cutting on my car and I said, quit cutting my damn car. Better words, but I'm not going to use them right now.
I mean, you already dropped that bomb 5 times. What difference does it make?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But anybody knows me, my daughter married a Catholic, so, I hear it all the time anyways.
That's just part of it.
Yeah. But, I was blessed that, that I got the service that I got from that track, and just being at the right place at the right time to get taken care of. And I see that, anytime somebody, that boy over got knocked out the other night and it bothered me, that in a Ford race, what was his name?
That was the night we were there.
Yeah.
We went down to the
what
wall.
was that? Emery.
Yeah.
Jerry Emery.
Yeah.
And it bothered me. I'm like, dude, this could be serious, but it could be just a little,
Yeah.
I remember hitting Moneypin in the intersection. I knocked him out. I went over there. I got out of my car, and he's over there all laid out. I just rested there and grabbed his seatbelts. I opened them up. I was like, wake up, bub. Not really thinking nothing about it, but that could have been serious at that moment.
Yeah.
And he'll tell you today, he says, one of the hardest hits I've ever had. I said, well, that's what I do around here, I guess. I don't know.
I don't do shit half-assed.
That's the hardest I've ever been hit in a race car.
We do it right or we don't do it.
Yeah.
But, I'm not trying to, being about bone gray, but that was just, I think they could have made something happen quicker.
You look at things a little bit different now because you were in that situation. There's that's kind of like, I mean, I know it's two totally different subjects, but, I'm up in the booth now, and
see everything.
I see everything, and I see how the lineups are being done, this and that, and, I'm thinking, man, there was times that I've been down here in the stage, and I'm ready to kill these people.
Yeah.
And this poor lady's working her ass off, doing 10 different things, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
and I watch that myself. People might think, oh, he's crazy, he's goofy, or whatever. I act like that, but when it comes to racing, I know I watch the full picture. I watch the concession stands. I watch the promoters, the announcers, and the officials. And you shouldn't, but I'm not elaborating on it. I'm like, man, you shouldn't run across, like Lake Cumberland. They used to let you run across the damn racetrack as they was racing.
Yeah. They send a car out of the pit and 5 people across it.
I'm like, and a buddy of mine got hurt down there, real bad.
Yeah.
And which he's running some of the street stock classes now, and real good friend of mine. And I see that, I'm like, and I was that guy though. I was the one that running across the racetrack.
Yeah.
And then laughing the whole time. Yeah, I made it. Yeah.
What's up, man? Whatever.
Yeah.
And I see the silliness, and and I see the ignorance in the race cars. I'm like, dude, you could hurt somebody, being ignorant in a race car, because you don't, and that makes you think a lot different. If you have a regular intersection, usually it's not nowhere near what we have when you hit a wall,
Yeah.
Because it's not a solid deal. It's your
and you got a car coming another way, so you absorb the energy.
Yeah. So I mean, them wrecks are nowhere near what I had to go through, and I don't ever wish this on my worst person to go through what I had to go through.
Yeah. You went 90 to 0 in nothing.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
When you have God talking to you, son.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. When you have God talking to you, it makes you wake up and think a lot of different things. That's why you appreciate your grandchildren, your wives, and friends, and just be blessed on getting on a podcast like this. I mean, this is pretty neat. Just to be able to come here and talk on some professional-looking stuff right here.
Yeah, professional looking. Looking is the key word.
Well, I don't know. And if 2 people listen to this, that's fine. If 20,000 listen to it, that's fine.
Well, you want the good news or you want the bad news?
What?
Bad news is we haven't had 20,000 yet.
Okay.
Good news is we will definitely get over 2.
Yeah.
Here recently we're closer to 10,000, so we're doing all right for a couple guys that don't really know what the hell we're doing.
Yeah,
we're doing all right.
If you can listen to my annoying voice the whole podcast, that's great. There's stuff I can tell you if you want to call me or hit me up on Facebook or.
Yeah, he'll answer you back.
They'll. I mean, and you know, I used to do the Doodle Live. You remember during the COVID,
Yeah.
I used to do the free stuff.
Yeah.
Man, I was popping, and still today, 5 years later, I get these grandmas like, man, I really loved watching you on that internet, you know, and giving that stuff away. Which I had a lot of support, and we made fun, just like this deal here. We made it fun.
Yeah.
You know, we wasn't asking for $1. It ended up costing Scott Wright. Here, I need to go back to them sponsors, I guess. But
No, you're good, man. Go ahead.
But you know,
we'll blame it on the injury.
Yeah. But you know, I didn't end up costing us money. You know, because you know, I would. If you want to give this money up to get this money, or you want this hot rod or whatever, you know, I was the guy that did that stuff. You know, we'd have that shop over there on Ulrich. Every 25 people there, and the mayor's like, hey, y'all can't be doing this. But, you know, he didn't know, so we did it. You know, that was the only cool hangout around at the time. And we did a lot for the Cancer Suck stuff. We raised a lot of money for them guys. And I know Mike Baroni appreciates it. And, you know, we never asked for money from them. We always gave.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of like us. Like, a lot of people don't understand. You're only the third person ever to sit at the table here and do this.
Yeah.
We go to everybody.
Yeah.
We go to your environment. We go, you know.
Which he could have came to my residence, or he could have came to our shops. I got 2 or 3 shops we could have went to. But I'm like, man, this one at 7 or 8, 9 o'clock at night. These guys, you've got to sit up here. You get to watch Kokomo or
Kokomo.
Yeah, whatever.
Speaking of Kokomo, Clinton Bowles is on the TV right now.
Of all
Cheap plug for us. Clinton Bowles, former guest, the week of the Chili Bowl when he got disqualified with tires, he was our guest. If you want to go back and listen to a back episode.
See?
All right, go ahead.
That's all right.
Dude, you made it famous.
That's what I do. That's what I do.
Fast qualifier was Kyle Cummins too.
Cal Cummins was quick time. Former guest as well.
I think he was anyway.
And you know, it's like some of them guys up there looking for sponsors at Speedrome. They put a 48 on that car and look how many you can grab. I can tell you that right now. You know, they don't know. They just want to see that 48. I don't care who's in it. They just want to see that number. And you know, it's a blessing. And I don't know. There's a lot of people I need to thank. You know, but y'all know who you are. I mean, you know, Scott Wright, Scotty, my wife, Tommy, the Lowe's deal, man. Y'all don't understand how much stuff I got from them guys. They can afford it. They could have gave me a whole damn store. It wouldn't have cost them. You know, I mean, he helped a lot because he liked it. You know, and now he's not even helping nobody because you know what?
He don't like them. Same reason why you're not helping who you're not helping.
Yeah, because they don't like them, and I'm not racing. So you know, I felt bad because the far suit I had on, they cut it wide open. It was a badass $2,000 far suit that got cut wide open, blood all over it. I still got it in my garage. Blood all over it.
Yeah.
But you know, he paid for it himself. You know, who does that?
Yeah.
You know, for that Faraday boy.
For that Faraday
boy don't win nothing, but he's notable. You know, you show up, they know who you are. You know.
Well, you can't say you don't win nothing.
That's what we always say too. Is like if you see a race car and it's got a name on it and it's somebody you can use, you know, to help better them.
Yes.
Please try to use them because they're supporting the racing around here. So
and I can get the support, you know, and they know that. And it's like we was racing the extreme cars over there, and that's when that Zero Post got it now. But Tony Johnson built a nice extreme car for me, a little bit better than normal. But anyways, we went over and tore a motor up, and I remember Mark was driving for Scott, and we was over just like no big deal. He said, "How y'all not mad?" I said, "It's a freaking motor. Who cares? We got another one." He said, "Man, I'd be so mad right now if that motor tore up." I said, "Well, you can't get mad over a situation." And I was never that guy. Back in dirt racing, I was. But in that figure 8 car, I stayed in my circle. My crew wanted to go kill everybody.
Well,
you know, I knew
they probably didn't want to kill everybody as much as they had to defend you.
Yeah.
So they wanted to bring it away from you.
Yeah. And I remember Mike Riddle here a few years ago. He came over to me. He's like, "Man, you need to start giving me some brakes." I'm like, "Well, you want some blue or black?" He said, "What are you talking about?"
Talking about them hops.
Yeah. It's not that intersection, man. You're just blowing through her. I'm like, "I don't know what you're talking about, but what number are you?" And you know, and I'm like, "Dude, I don't know." I said, I feel like every time I'm out there, I'm leading the race. So that's what I feel like. I don't know about no brakes, you know. And some bitches won't give me no brakes. Why the hell would I give them? I remember leading these races, early stages, and they're just like crossing me up, making me slow down.
But hey, it's just part of it.
Yeah, and I know if I slow the leader down, I got a less chance of getting laps.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Hey, Mark Tony, you had to break for me, boy, because I'm still on the lead lap.
Yeah.
And they knew when they seen that 48 it was going to be bad. I remember Chris Harmon told me one time, he said we go out there and practice. He said, I see that 48 pull on the racetrack, I pull off.
Well, like,
Chris, you're joking, right? No, I'm serious.
I'll be honest with you. I'm glad he did too. The guy that does all the body work and fixes all the bumpers. I'm glad.
Yeah, he said, I went out there and run 2 laps and needing to run 15, and I see you pull out there, I just pull off.
Funny story, Chris. Chris tells he told Royce, because Royce said, Chris, you need to get back to racing again. And Chris don't want to do no racing because of Ben, Ben racing. And he said, I couldn't pass Doodle over one night, so I said, I'm done.
Yeah. He did say that. I lost 3 hours of sleep one night over that.
Yeah. But we appreciate you coming on, Doodle, and we're glad that they took care of you up north. Because, like you said, many places that could have happened, could have been a totally different outcome. We're glad you got taken care of.
We're glad to still have you.
And we're glad to finally get you on the show. It's been you said it's been 3 months in the making, but it's been almost a year.
Yeah.
It's been almost a year.
Well, I had a little memory loss there for a little bit.
Well, the last 3 months we've been working on this, and then Doodle made a post that he's coming on the show. I had 200 people message me. So when y'all record that show? I said, no, we just talked at dinner the other night.
Yeah.
Said we're going to get together.
I brought it through my internet earlier on some pictures I taken. And I know this is a long, old picture, but it's one of my coolest pictures. Right there. Ain't that pretty neat?
Well, see, you want to know what's really cool?
Yeah. That's a dirt track, I assume.
Yeah, and that's the one that I've already got saved for your bio here.
Yeah.
So I got bad news for you. I've already got that one saved.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that was that Brownstown Indian icebreaker.
Probably.
I'm almost certain that's when that picture was.
Well, that was one of the good icebreakers because neither one of y'all had jacket on.
Yeah.
No shit.
Usually it's freezing cold.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure.
We didn't let Flash talk much. I don't know why. We don't never shut the hell up anywhere we go though. So.
No, it was bad. That's just the way I do. Every time Flash tries to say something, I just talk over it.
One of my friends told me, I can't get away from that son of a bitch. I don't want to go over. I'm like at the shop or something.
Yeah.
And I knew it.
I thought you were talking about us. Like,
no. Somebody was telling me that.
Yeah.
Or somebody was telling somebody that to tell me. And I knew if we had this at the shop, we'd have an audience over there right now.
Yeah.
Because they just drive by just see if I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm like, go out of their damn way. Just, he's not there. We'll just go on.
Hey, that's a positive for me moving from PRP to here.
Yeah.
If I want to work on the race car or work on
path.
anything, I got a few people that still come by. Digit being one.
Oh my God.
Digit will stop by once a week. If he goes down 10:20 and he sees my garage door open, you can bet that
he knows your garage door open before you know your garage door open.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, you probably thank your brother for that. He probably having him over here to work on the car or something. I don't know.
But being out here where I'm at, I can get a little bit more work done. Well, I could before Ben started racing.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, now Ben walks across the field. Hey, B, I need you to fix this. I tell people all the time, because I lived next door to my dad for 15 years. And I don't know how my dad ever got anything done, because I'd always walk over and say, hey, Dad. Every time Ben walks over and says, hey, B, I said, I don't know how my dad did not want to kill me.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's never, hey, B, when I'm doing nothing. Yeah. I'm upside down welding something. Hey, B, I need you for a second.
Yeah.
But we appreciate you coming on, Doodle. We're going to see you at the racetrack. We don't know if he's going to be racing or hanging out, but you guarantee one thing, he's going to be having fun. Yeah. It's Mr. Excitement from Fairdale, Kentucky. Not only is he from Fairdale, he even moved back to my old neighborhood. What little bit of Edgewood we got left over at Preston Park, he's over in the neighborhood.
Yeah, that little house on the prairie, they're turning them all down, but they ain't taking me until they got a bunch of money.
Yeah.
I'll make me a little dirt track over there.
Let's do it.
I do have 4 lawnmowers, so everybody's like, what do you got those little lawnmowers for? I said, they ain't got a deck on them for a reason.
Yeah. Hey, it's about like the go-kart track I got in the backyard.
Exactly.
We sling it on the high banks, but we appreciate you coming on, Doodle, and
appreciate
thanks.
y'all.
Thank you, Doodle.
If you guys need a good laugh, just shoot Doodle a message on Facebook. He'll tell you go screw yourself, or send your mama a message, whatever he needs to do. Yeah. But Mr. Excitement, Doodle Farris, thank you. All right, Flash, that was dang it, Doodle.
Yeah.
Mr. Excitement himself, Doodle Farris. His words, just an old boy from Fairdale, Kentucky.
Yeah.
But I was glad I was able to get Doodle on. We've been
trying to get him on for a while.
Yeah, that was the thing. Doodle, and what was really funny is Doodle kind of let everybody know we was going to do the podcast. Then people kept messaging me, "Hey, when you going to have Doodle on? Did you record Doodles?" I'm like, no, we ran into each other and we talked about doing it. But yeah, so
kind of worked out that it's on episode 48.
Yeah, well, about 3 weeks ago when I realized that I even had and then, first off, shout out to Dylan Kalen for his maneuver that he made. I don't know if you've seen the video, but they went 3, 4, 5 wide at Salem.
Oh, yeah.
And he did the crossover, turn back down, keep the lead, end up running second. Shout out to Dylan Kalen for that. Dylan's a guy that listens to the show each and every week.
Yeah.
Listened to our very first episode and has listened to every single one. But yeah, Dylan made a hell of a move. But Dylan messaged me and said, "Hey, when we gonna get a next racetrack? An old racetrack segment?"
Yeah.
Then I told Dylan about 3 weeks ago. I said, "Well, I'm gonna go ahead and let you know. We had one planned, and then we brought Brandon Taylor on because we had something that happened.
Right.
That needed to be covered.
Yeah.
I said so that kind of took a place of an old racetrack segment.
Yeah.
We had to move things around. I said, and then we're on episode 45. Might as well just wait and do Doodle on 48.
Yeah.
He goes, "Oh, okay, I get it." I said,
Yep.
so so it's got a little bit of symbolic. What's that word?
Symbolic. I don't know how to say
It means something.
Yeah.
Symbolism.
Symbolism. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not very good at them words. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Doodle. It was a fun interview, and said Doodle hung out here at the house, and we bullshitted, and I'm glad to see Doodle doing okay.
Yeah.
I think Doodle itching to get back in the race car, but I think deep down, I don't know if he really wants to.
Right.
But he just kind of feels like that's what he always did, so he kind of needs to.
Exactly.
But like we told him, the longer you stay away, the easier it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You can go watch and have just as much fun.
Have
almost.
just as much fun. And
Almost.
Yeah. Because you can go watch and still have people want to fight you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can go watch and still get home at 4 in the morning.
Because you don't want to get fights all the time. Just be the tech guy.
Yeah. If you decide, hey, you know what? I want to do something that's just going to make sure everybody's pissed off this week. Go be the tech guy. Yeah.
Or any official. You don't have to be a tech guy.
Yeah, you don't even have to be the...
Yeah, you could just be...
You could be the guy lining the cars up, the guy working the gate, the guy working the crossover.
Announcer. Announce the names wrong.
Yeah. Don't... And what's really funny is, like, when the people come up to me and complain about announcing the names wrong, I'm like, bro, listen to our show just one time.
Yeah.
I'm doing pretty damn good here.
Yeah.
I've only screwed up one person's name.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually on the show I screw up 10 people's name. But yeah. But it was a good time hanging out with Doodle. So we're going to get into the upcoming events on the holiday weekend. The first event we're going to talk about will be our Racetrack Spotlight, brought to you by JT's Trackside and Catering. And this week is going to be the Lake Ozark Speedway in Eldon, Missouri. Lake Ozark Speedway is hosting the 410 Power Eye National Sprint Cars. $5,000 to win on Friday, $5,000 to win on Saturday. And guess what the support class is, Flash?
Modified.
No. 410 non-wing sprint cars.
Really?
$5,000 to win on Friday, $5,000 to win on Saturday.
Well, that's pretty cool.
The War Sprint Car Series. So it's all sprint cars all the time. Tanya and I went to this event. I guess it was 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
It's up there, Lake Ozark Speedway, hence the Ozarks.
Yeah.
You're up there on the lake. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. You can go up there, take your girlfriend, take your kids, go hang out at the lake. There's plenty of state parks and what's those things called? Like where the river comes through and they break off. Where you, man.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're a fisherman, Flash. Yeah. Like it's got
a creek.
Yeah. There's plenty of creeks. Yeah. Now, what do they call those things where the river breaks off and fills in and comes back into the another?
Oh yeah, just kind of like a Bay Area type. thing.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I don't know what the word is. Is it spillway? It's kind of well, they got signs for them all up there.
Yeah.
Whatever the hell the damn thing's named.
Right. Yeah.
I guess I should have did better research on that. I figured you being an avid fisherman who fish most of the day would know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But it's really beautiful setting. The racetrack itself, 3/8 mile. It's shaped a lot like Kokomo.
Yeah.
And it doesn't get as crummy as Kokomo in the middle of the track, but it builds a curve and it gets super slick in the middle. And it's one of those racetracks that is surprisingly good.
Yeah.
Like you walk in, it's got nice bleachers, tall bleachers. Everything, your walkway inside the racetrack's all pavement, all blacktop.
Oh yeah.
So you're not walking in mud and gravel. And it's a nice racetrack. It's been there for a long time. One negative, I will give you a negative. One negative to it is it doesn't catch a lot of wind where it's at.
Right.
Which I think the weather's going to be nice this weekend.
Yeah.
But a couple years ago, it was really hot and humid. You get no breeze.
Yeah.
None. It's got trees all around one side. The expressway's on the other side with a sound barrier wall.
Oh, yeah.
So it's got a barrier all the way around it. If you're going to camp out though,
Yeah.
you've got a whole tree line, and they've even got some camper hookups, electric, and everything along the backside. But yeah,
That's pretty cool.
Lake Ozark Speedway, super nice racetrack, and the food item here, Flash. You know those tenderloins that's about the size of 2 notebooks?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's their
what they-
specialty.
that's what they got.
Yes, at Lake Ozark Speedway. Throw some mayonnaise, some pickles and onions on that bad boy, and dinner is served.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the first event, Lake Ozark Speedway. Late models this week. This is gonna sound so weird saying it, but the Hillbilly 100 is this weekend
Oh yeah.
in Lernerville Speedway. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
Lucas Oil late models are at Lernerville Friday and Saturday. 10,000 to win Friday, 30,000 to win Saturday. Farmer City, the Mars is at Farmer City. Friday is $5,000 to win. Saturday, Mars late models at the world famous Fairbury American Legion.
Yeah.
They got the 10K double down. 10,000 to win for the late model. 10,000 to win for the mods. And the $5,000 to win Prairie Dirt Classic modified feature is starting to show off.
Yeah.
So some modified driver can walk out with
And-
$15,000.
And I'm just going to give you guys a hint. You can go there on your way to the Super Nationals.
Yeah, you can
I've
do
done
that
that.
too. Yeah, you go there.
You made a really good trip out of it for about 9 days.
Yeah. So you go there. This is kind of this week and next week, but we'll go ahead and let you guys know. So you go to Farmer City Friday, catch late models.
Yeah.
You go to Fairbury Saturday, catch late models, mods. Go to Spoon River Sunday on the way out.
I did that too.
Catch late models. And then Monday, guess what? The Super National starts, and they start with the support class. The late models are there
Yeah.
Monday at Spoon River.
The late models
at Boone Island.
Late models are awesome at Boone.
Yeah, so
They don't run there very much, but when they do,
Yeah.
it's a show.
But next week's show, we're going to get into an IMCA Super Nationals to-do list,
Yeah.
bucket list, the whole shebang, because
Yep.
it is a must-do event. Also with the World 100 coming up, we'll talk about that. And then there's some race called the World Championship Figure 8 race
Yeah.
that we might mention just a little bit for all the Figure 8 guys that's listening to this week's show.
Yeah.
We'll cover that a little bit as well. And then where me and Flash will be this weekend, Cumberland Plateau Open Wheel Modified Series, Saturday, Sunday, doubleheader. It was supposed to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday got canceled.
Yeah.
I-75 Raceway had another event come up, which I-75 got flooded, and so it was probably going to get canceled anyways.
Yeah.
Because the pits got all destroyed this week with weather. I
man.
think that. Because they had a little bit of rain down there.
Yeah.
About a little bit. They had like 6 inches.
Yeah.
So,
That's a lot.
Yeah, they had a lot of it.
Yeah.
But Saturday night, we'll be at the beautiful Mountain View Raceway, Spring City, Tennessee. Going to stay at the old Grand Hotel.
Yeah.
Well, I say we are. Tanya's going to have to get onto that.
Yeah.
With it being a holiday weekend, big race weekend, the only hotel anywhere around, we
Yeah.
might want to get onto that. But,
Yeah.
so we're going to go there Saturday, then Sunday. It'll be Kurt's first visit to the beautiful Wartburg Speedway.
Yeah.
Nestled in the mountains. Got a really cool. I know it's not a racetrack spotlight, but we're still going to talk about it. Got like 5 or 6 falls, about 4 miles from the racetrack.
Oh, yeah.
It's as big, if not the same size as the Cumberland Falls.
Oh, yeah.
Really cool. I mean, really neat. Right up, just park right off the road. Walk to the. Fun fact: last time me and Tanya stopped in at the falls, some, I guess we'll say, model
Yeah.
or influencer or was doing a photo shoot,
Yeah.
and must not have realized that we were there.
Oh, yeah.
The photo shoot got a little X-rated last time we were there.
Yeah.
So, but that's where we'll be Saturday night, and then this weekend Boone has the tune-up Saturday and Sunday, getting ready for the Super Nationals.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on. Here we are again at the end of the show. We forgot to mention at the top, but Tell people about us.
Yeah.
You guys are doing a great job. Our following's going up each and every week. We've at the end. Actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and tell everybody.
Yeah.
When this week is over, next week we will be celebrating 400,000 downloads,
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
listens, views. 400,000 in a year.
Yeah.
You guys are crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why
Yeah.
you guys are hanging out, but we sure do appreciate you.
Yeah, we appreciate everybody
coming back every week. So,
and you guys are doing all the promoting for us because we're not very good at it.
yeah. Last week, I think Wednesday, I actually reposted on my story.
Yeah.
I got better. I did it twice this week. So, but yeah, we appreciate you guys hanging out each and every week. And got anything else, Flash?
No, I don't think so.
Well, until next time, we'll be trading sliders.